Good evening, everybody, and welcome into the conclusion of Stage 4. North America's up to bat tonight, and that means we got to crown a champion for the conclusion of this entire region. It's been a hell of a ride through this entire season. I couldn't be more excited to be bringing you the action alongside my favorite person, Fox. I'm Spaceman, and brother, welcome into the action. How you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good. We're coming to you all live from Maryland, of course, remote, wherever you're at, hopping into the action today. We're coming to the conclusion of our seasons here in the Call of Duty Challenger Series, and I'm looking forward to see how the competition shaped up for tonight.
I mean, we're so close. We could literally just hang out and cast these matches together, but we're going to be smart, socially distant, which means we got more things to talk about than just ourselves. Obviously, the action tonight's going to be so deeply packed, and that means we have to look at some of the money these players are going to win because there's a lot on the line than just bragging rights, folks. Guess what? Easter's not here anymore, so there's still a lot of money you can grab, and nothing is guaranteed. $20,000 for first place, half for second, and then subsequently down the line a little bit less, but you still get a decent payout as long as you do well. And well, we got 4 teams that we're going to be looking at tonight, but Fox, $20,000 again, first place once more. Call of Duty Challengers putting money where the mouth is, and the players are trying to take home their share of that prize pool.
That's right. And tonight in our upcoming matchup, we've already got teams like BBG who made $13,000 just last month alone competing in the Challenger Series. Lots of money up for grabs here in the Call of Duty League, and there's more of it here.
And the consistency with BBG and their placements have always been something we've been talking about, both in the sidelines, on professional microphone, but more importantly in the chat. We want to know what you guys are thinking on Reddit's, Twitter's, YouTube chat, and all that. Let us know who you think's coming home tonight with the championship, but more importantly, we just got to keep things rolling. And now we look at kind of how the matches will work tonight, because again, there's only really 3 games we have to go through: 2 semifinals matches, 1 finals appearance, and that means we have a bracket to break down. Trash Bros versus the System, that's a big one, but our first series of the night, our first semifinals match, will be Built by Gamers and Nemo. Listen, Fox, just looking at how the consistency of Built by Gamers has been throughout these past 2 or 3 seasons, surely they're favorites going into this first series, but Nemo are no pushovers, and there's a lot to talk about with this young roster. Talk to me a little bit about what you're seeing in the bracket here and what you're excited for tonight.
Blooming real late is Nemo, but what a great time to do it, right? We've seen these guys finish so many times, like top 64 and top 32. Up until March, where we would see these players meet the likes of Jimbo and Sid, and from that point on, as they put together their actual roster for tonight, we've seen players like Zero and Archives as a Cold War duo really come together and perform so well since January of this year.
Yeah, there's been a lot of different storylines for the past couple of seasons, right? I mean, even looking across the pond to Europe, it seems like it used to be about the most solid rosters, the ones that made the least amount of roster changes stuck together, were the ones rising to the top. The cream always rose to the top in these regions, and now it feels like we're shifting the paradigm just a little bit. The entire essence of these regions has come down to star power and individual players making the biggest plays to push their team forward. Now we got young guns really making a deep run in these brackets and knocking down some of the established rosters, as you've noticed. LAG Academy, not here. Easter, not here. They didn't even make it to the playoff bracket. And you look at a team like UT Crew, who even consistently was making top 2, not here. Built by Gamers are really, outside of System, with just names themselves, Built by Gamers are the only organization here in the playoff bracket that have actually been here time and time again. Fox, this is a very good chance tonight for a lot of these young guns to be making a decent run and a chance to win a championship.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And like you said, we're seeing Built by Gamers just right back. I'm sure they're comfortable with this level of competition. Of course, placing top 4 in Season 3 playoffs. I mean, these guys are they're nasty.
They absolutely are. And well, that means we're almost ready to get into game 1. But here's a little fun stat for you and everybody at home who's watching. Take this into consideration. We have 16 players tonight on 4 teams, all of them competing. 7 out of the 16 are in the top percentage of kills permitted in Hardpoint. They're all in the top 10. So you have a large margin of players here tonight who are the very best at kills permitted in Hardpoint, which means that the slaying is going to be unreal. I expect this to be close all the way down to the wire, which means we have to take a look at the maps themselves, because we know that maps like Raid and Checkmate can be as tight as possible. And what better way to kick things off than on Apocalypse Hardpoint, followed by a big chunk of Raid and Express to close it out if necessary. Fox, looking at the layout itself, I mean, the ARs are going to have a field day tonight. Again, we're expecting, the Slayers to do their thing, but what are you seeing in the map layout that's standing out to you the most?
Standing out to me the most is, of course, starting off on Apocalypse, one of the newer additions. Of course, we're seeing Standoff more recently to our rotation of maps here in the Call of Duty League. Not a wildly popular one, so I'm genuinely curious to see where this matchup goes. Something to remember, though, we have Nemo. Big Season 4 surprise they are. They are stellar at Hardpoint. Definitely a standout team to watch in this game mode, and I'm looking forward to see what kind of damage they can do here against Built by Gamers.
And just kind of looking at the map layout themselves, I was surprised to see at the very end Express for the Game 5 S&D. We've seen Built by Gamers on Miami a couple of times, and it looked pretty comfortable. We even saw them against Easter a couple of weeks ago. But I have to be looking at this map one. Apocalypse Hardpoint, you have to believe this was a Built by Gamers pick. They are very, very comfortable on this map mode combo, and it's really just because of how well Kismet and Pentagram play on it. Kismet's an absolute demon through the back, but off the start, a very decent lead, but not a great one for Built by Gamers as we go to the rotation. So far, so good, though. A couple of kills will fall. You got a couple of cheeky challenges out in front, but off the early break, you are looking for BBG to get set up nice and hot. The ARs need to start lighting up the kill feed a little bit more as Pander's going to spot a couple. But for Nemo, I mean, this is really their first big test now in the playoff bracket. Archives was tasked with being the slow AR yesterday as they were playing on Garrison Hardpoint, and what he did so well was he managed streaks, which opened up the map that much more. And for Nemo coming into this series, they need to slow down the front subs, and you need to slow down on X Factor like Kismet. He can be so lethal at disrupting the game plan going into the series, and so far so good. They've done a good job of bouncing back in P2. Still 40 seconds to fight over, but Pentagram alone in the hill for the moment. Two more will rotate from behind. It looks like it's going to be a three-man break through the front. Built by Gamers doing their best to hold on. Nemo just can't get inside. Now we hit the rotation. Couple early shots will ring out, and Pentagram low in HP, but so far so good. I mean, you got a decent lead here, folks. Nemo just need to rack up something in the early parts of these hard points. The biggest question mark is how do you rally the kills together? Can you play for streaks? If you can, things are usually looking pretty good. Kismet able to bait out one and has one more in front. There goes the challenge, and there goes the win. Kismet inside the hill now, and we look at the rotation all the way in the top side of your minimap. A couple of transitional fights will ensue, and we look at Pander. Can he win one? Well, Pentagram comes in for the assist, and the primary of that, Guardian Angel there, but the trades for Nemo give them in a favorable position for now as Kismet will quickly drop. 73 in counting, a 50-point lead for Built by Gamers, and while things looked a little bit hectic on the outside of those transitions, it really just came down to one or two key gunfights. Kismet staying alive in the bottom of P3. He buys enough time off those spawns, and now Nemo just need to full hit from the front. Unfortunately, they can't stack as a full roster, and you're picking apart gunfights for BBG. It's a 4 streak for GodRx, and Kismet inside has the Krieg in hand, but don't worry, teammates are there. 3 more will drop. 87 and counting. They might be our first team here to cross 100 points with 20 more still to go on the hill as Archives works his way through the back. Nades out for the check, but don't worry, nothing really will connect. Built by Gamers doing a fairly good job of holding on to the pressure and, more importantly, dipping and diving away out of uncomfortable situations. Ramby, so weak, but still just thinking about different ways to approach this gunfight. You got 4 minutes still in the game, plenty of time here, but Built by Gamers continue to win that late break in the early hold. Now it comes down to scrap time. You're starting to get into that dangerous situation where if you don't pick up anything, then it comes down to transitional fights and holding for a full 40, 50, 60. The biggest problem, they're not chaining kills together here. 7-9 for Archives. He was that slower AR yesterday. Ramby needs to do something more inside the hill, get himself comfortable in the objective, but with a decent amount of time still to fight over, we do look for those rotational fights, and more importantly, we look for chaining it all together. Zyro is 6 and 10 for Understreams. Archives is currently inside, and that means Nemo have plenty of time to bring this one back.
So Nemo working through their deficit, still down by about 30 seconds. The pressure is coming in, and we see Archives met by 2 different players taken down. A little bit outgunned in that situation, so now a little bit more pressure onto Ramby as just around the corner we have several players mounting up their offensive, firing on him from behind cover. He's still looking for the direction that Pander and Pentagram are coming from. No one's home just yet. As Nemo, they continue to close this deficit close this gap here in the final moments of the hard point. Rotating now, we see Built by Gamers. The initial time, Pander's gonna find that first kill, connecting with a second. The support around him, he's able to stand his ground, and we see Built by Gamers are going to be awarding themselves with a good chunk of initial time on this hard point. The push is coming through from Nemo. We have player number 7 perform. The lurker off to the side in that top portion of your mini map there. He will be met with Pentagram here shortly. Let's see how it unfolds.
And it was interesting. You go from about a 20-point lead, make it 30-40 for BBG going into that last hill. They hold on to a couple of flurry gunfights, but Nemo are successfully able to win. A large part to what Rambi was doing on the outskirts, right? Taking individual gunfights and kind of keeping the pressure off of his squad rotating in. They isolated Kismet off a couple of rotations, but now you have to beat the ARs in your front battle up front. Pentagram able to take out one, and Godorex did his job just creating a distraction. Now attention swings back to the middle of the map. We go back to P1, our second set of rotations. Pander at 13 and 12. I mean, and so far, it's been pretty standard Apocalypse hardpoint, but it just seems like every time Built by Gamers have the late rotation, the early break, and the early hold, the ARs make everyone else's job that much easier in mid-map, Fox.
That's right. The ARs are a huge factor here. We saw Pander on defense in the previous hardpoint doing the most for his team, and is a big part of the reason why we're seeing Built by Gamers up by 30 seconds. As the hardpoint's contested, Rambi still alive, untouched with the AK-74. Shot in his back though, so the support falls as Zero goes unkilled. 2 kills on the hardpoint, is able to play a little bit of defense, try and work towards this deficit a little bit.
It's been quite a resilient effort from Nemo. Again, we still got a lot of hard points to play, but what a great job they've done of being able to kind of swing this game back in their favor. And again, the subs have started to light up more. 12 and 14 for Perform, who quite literally lived up to the name yesterday. Now we just need a little bit more pressure from him. Archive, sub in hand, AK not able to pick up the kill. You have a 3-man spread for Built by Gamers. 1 on the rotation. It's Kismet all the way far out, trying to play his life, but the nade is so clutch. Takes him out of position. Zyro can sit back here and pick off players rotating into P2. This is such a good position to be in for Nemo because they can just funnel Built by Gamers right into their sights. They don't need to get over-aggressive, overzealous on these challenges, and they have slowed down the ARs of BBG. Yeah, Godorex at 14 and 9, Pander at dead even. What a swing it's been, and what a way to get back into this game 1.
Archives on a 3 streak. He's hungry for more as he found the 4th one. Taken down, though, with the bloody red screen. Still, with so much support behind him, we see Nemo staying in control, finding the first lead switch of the game as we are halfway through this hill. The next offensive push is coming through, and it's all white in the kill feed as Built by Gamers. They're able to mount a big advantage. However, Nemo still spawning up right on top of the point. They're going to have to do it again. 2 kills in favor of the team in orange so far, and they still maintain that grip and pull ahead even further.
Archive's getting a little bit over challenging, but you take those ego challenges where you can. You try to win those gunfights. It opens up the rest of the map. But flooding through right now, mid, right now, Built by Gamers doing a very good job of zoning out Nemo. But they do lose the lead on that last hill. We go to P3 under the wing, and how does it really play out? Well, Kismet once more will be playing close left in the point. Zyro able to pick up one. No, he drops. Godorex, thank him for that. So far, the kills falling to the outside of the hill, and it really comes down to 1 or 2 isolated gunfights. Then you break the 3-man push. Godorex gets baited and absolutely beamed. Rambi on your screen on a 3 spree, trying to work on streaks, but Pentagram flies through the window and shuts down any hopes of that. We will be looking at a tie game now, a lead back for BBG. 26 seconds to go, and they might be able to cross 200 here. Pentagram shooting like that. Things will be pretty good in this game 1.
3 different players inside of Built by Gamers. 4 now looking to approach 20 kills in this hardpoint as they pull ahead once again in the lead. On the side of Nemo, it's Rambi, the only player to do just that. And as we get the remaining scrap time here, that should go in favor of Built by Gamers, we take a look at the setup on the mini-map, and we see Nemo has all 4 players surrounding the objective. There's still 1 already in the mix on the side of Built by Gamers, and that's Kismet. Opening up with a kill onto Archives. No trade just yet. He's in a pretty prime position to set up for the flank here. Sniffed out and shut down as Perform is able to stop the flank in its tracks and maintain the hill control for Nemo. Looking to find another lead switch as they're down trailing by just about 10 seconds.
And that's what Kismet does so well. He just draws attention away from the mid lanes and forces you to make quick decisions in gunfights that keep pressure on the hill. And you have spawns out for BBG. They tried to do a 2-2 hit. So far, the resilience from Nemo is there. And more importantly, they've pushed out the 50-yard line so they can sit inside relatively uncontested, thanks to Perform working his magic through the back. 22 seconds to go. But one more will move inside, and Built by Gamers have some time to grab. Finally, they moved their way in and was wondering when those last 10 seconds would be able to get soaked up, and now we could be looking at a tied game. It should be just about there. But guess what? Nemo are set up for the next hill. They're ready and waiting. The ARs are starting to light up. We're going to have about a dead even game going into the next hill.
We're getting into the closing moments of this hardpoint as both teams have surpassed the 200-point mark. It's a tie game. The lead is going back and forth. We got Built by Gamers going up against Nemo, one of the newcomers in our series here. They have been stellar in the later portions of the Call of Duty Challenger series, and we're seeing them really bring it to Built by Gamers. Panda and Kismet, though, we're going to be able to find 2 kills. Are going to be able to find 2 kills on defense here and flushing out the remaining opposing players. And they should be able to pull themselves ahead in the lead again here as Nemo are set up to get their next push going. They have 1 player way off in the distance for a flank, but the player dying on the front lines is going to be trouble for them.
For as much work as Nemo have done, they still don't have the lead, down by 11, 12 and counting. They need to make a break, and they need to make it now. You lose it on this hill, but BBG are more than happy just to fall back and play on these outskirts as Rambi shuts down. And now it just comes down to 1 or 2 more final pushes. That'll be it. It's very, very clinical and very, very simple. A quiet end to that game 1, but nonetheless, BBG get the job done. And for a while, it looked like Nemo were going to be able to kind of squeak by through this Apocalypse hardpoint, but I got to tell you, Pander in this power position was uncontested for such a long time, and it just led to a positive result at the very end of that game 1, Fox.
Absolutely, and you kind of mentioned the quiet end to this hard point here that we saw. I think that part of that is going to be because of the play that we saw from Rambi. I'm sure we'll see part of it in the replay, but of course, sending that lurker to hit the flank on that final hard point is so difficult to do when you have the remaining players that are able to have 1 or 2 waves of engagement before they get support. Right? Rambi pushed in there 1 time, but they had fought and lost twice by the time he died. So looking through this map again, were there any standout players for you?
Pander. The Pander's ability to kind of lock down those top lanes as an AR and cutting down the front entry subs. The more pressure you take off of the rest of your teammates inside the hill, especially when they don't have to fight the sub battle dead close, it makes it that much easier to not only work to streaks, not only work to just zoning Nemo through the middle of the map, but you lock down lanes that was otherwise accessible, and the subs for Nemo just were not able to respond. The AR battle was won by BBG, and you know how that game 1 ended was not super spectacular, but it doesn't always have to be. You can have quiet endings as long as you build a decent chunk in the very start of the game. That's what BBG did quite well. Now, to Nemo's credit, they brought it back. They made it very close, but on those outskirt fights where Rambi really needed to go big and win a big gunfight against Kismet in the back that would help the pinch and kind of help a full stack break, it just wasn't there, Fox. And that again shows you kind of the veteranship the BBG bring to the table, just being able to shoot their way out of situations which a lot of teams can't do.
Right, especially when you got Pander in the back line looking over your shoulder. If someone slips the net and gets behind you, he's shutting that down with the quickness, right? He plants his speed. He was just always in the right spot, and that's the kind of support you need on Apocalypse Hardpoint. So well played on both sides, but in the end, I think that we saw a more coordinated effort out of BBG space.
Yeah, we certainly did. And now we got Raid S&D coming up now, but here's a look at all of the maps for this series. Raid Control following our Game 2, Moscow Hardpoint, Express S&D if a necessary Game 5 is needed. But for now, you had a decently good win in Game 1. It was close at times, but Built by Gamers handling their business and kind of going into this day itself for the playoffs and the knockout bracket and all that said, I think this is BBG's best chance to come away with a title. They've gotten 3rd a couple of times. They've been pushed to 4th, but they've never been able to close the deal and make it to a grand final. Fox, this could be their week. You know, we could be looking at the end of tonight and saying Built by Gamers are your champions. They just got to get through one series at a time, and maps like that, which I have to believe Apocalypse Hardpoint was their pick. That is the way to do it. Calm, cool, collected all the way down to the wire. Now you go to Raid S&D. And what do we always say about Raid, Fox? Tell the viewers what we always say.
This is your moment. This is your home. You've been here before. This map can really turn things on its head in this series. So I'm really looking forward to see what BBG can do. You mentioned just how decorated these guys are. They would love to come out with that championship victory. So many top 3 and top 2 finishes, winning lots and lots of prize money here in the Call of Duty Challenger series. But they want to end out on top. They're going for that #1 spot.
I'd be looking at the battle of the ARs. We go to Raid S&D now, and it just means that it's going to come down to First Bloods. Wow, who would have thought? But welcome to 44 Call of Duty. It's awesome, man. First Bloods on Raid are so crucial, opening up sites, opening up mid-spiral. If your ARs are eating, where we know Painter's going to be sitting somewhere in Lounge or somewhere in Bedroom, right? Like, that's going to be his power position. If he gets on top of Spiral, it might be GG's, but you have to be looking at the AR battle, and that means we have to be looking at Archives. I expect him to pull out the Krieg on this map, and he has to be able to shut down Pander. Pentagram and Kismet are problems in S&D, and Kismet will have no hesitation to go on a long flank and ruin your day. Fox, kind of getting predictions here. What are you expecting going into Game 2?
We talked a lot about Built by Gamers, and I think rightfully so. I certainly expect to see them come out on top in the Search and Destroy.
Sure.
I do want to highlight some of the Search and Destroy stars that we have in this lobby, though. We can't ignore someone like Rambi, who's seen himself on rosters like Lethal Gaming at COD Champs. We've seen him play in countless online Search and Destroy tournaments. I mean, he's made a name for himself in that game mode, so you have to expect to see him pull out something crazy in this matchup.
And this is the biggest test that Nemo are going to have. I mean, all four players so individually talented. A lot of their careers very storied. And, well, if you're a fan of amateur Call of Duty, you've known about players like Zyro, like Archives, like Rambi for many, many years. Perform, who has had a hell of a season. This is their first big test. They have to get through BBG, one of the better teams in North America, and the collapse in onto the site might be the best way to do it. Archives able to pick up one, but the trades are there, quickly falling, and the AR battle so far won by BBG. They have numbers.
Such a quick round. We see Rambi sat just on top of the site. One in Tiki, two in bedroom ahead of him. He's got the support of Zyro to his side. So now he can safely put down some long shots, but you see the defensive play out of the players on Built by Gamers. They know exactly how to run this clock down. 20 seconds ticking. Rambi needs 7.5 to defuse, but he's got several enemies to take care of. Watching the bomb site, Semtex detonating right beneath his feet delays him for just long enough. And now he's going to be last alive in a 1 versus 2, and that should be it.
Looks like there was many times where second guessing was a factor in that round. Unsure of how they want to play it. Rambi will get both. So, I mean, you shut down streaks, sure, but even in that start, Rambi was kind of hesitating. Do we want to push up towards back steps? Do we want to try to hit the flank, or do we just stick bomb? In that situation, be a little bit more decisive. It might pay off, but not much you can really do with the positioning from BBG. They play it correctly. A very simple first round here on Raid S&D. Welcome into the series, folks. First semifinals of the day. We got another one after this, and then, well, we got a grand final. You win this if you're BBG or Nemo. You move to the grand final for a chance to win $20,000. And man, that would be a great chunk of change to take home as the first paycheck here. As Rambi's going to dip and dive, avoid some shots. Will get tagged, but will not drop.
So Rambi able to get out with his life. Perform is able to progress over to the B bomb site. They will know he's there as the trophy system is able to save him from a tactical. His tac mask as well as backup. We see Kismet slipping through, and we mentioned just how sneaky he could be. He's able to find his way into the garage, kill Rambi on the flank, and now it's a 4 versus 3. He decides not to commit to the flank. So Zero should be comfortable to sit in top bedroom right here looking over the bomb, unless a submachine gun player dives into the window, just like this. Panda from a distance takes down Zero. Support from a distance is so needed as we get this bomb defused, and Built by Gamers is able to find their second round win.
That's what Kismet does so well, man. He just disrupts the game plan, takes out the back line. Everyone else is exposed in Mansion. Now you're worried about where Kismet might be coming from. You try to find some quick challenges on the site, and Panda will make you pay. I mean, the Tiki control, you've got to Rex towards steps. Even though he drops, it's very, very easy for BBG to retake. And it was a decent setup there on the offensive side. But Nemo just were unable to hold on, and Kismet really opens up that round. You have to keep an eye out for him on flanks. If you ever feel like you haven't seen anyone cross through mid-map or cross from behind in quite some time, just turn around and check. You never know where Kismet will be. 2-1 on a 2 spree, joining Panda in that same situation. But 3-2 for Zyro. Still looking for Perform to find his first kill.
Yeah, with Kismet in the lobby, always best to turn around and check. We got 4 players from Built by Gamers pushing the A site. They'll be met by 3 enemies on Team Nemo. Wow, that's one way to take out half your team with just one press of a button. All players fall, the bomb site push fails, and Nemo takes full advantage.
You know, just Kismet once more, just disrupting the game plan, right? That's the worst possible way to start this round, but okay. You get gift one if you're Nemo. Now, you can't afford to let that be the only round you get, right? Got to rally that into some positive vibes in the comms. We wish we could jump into a listen-in, but you got to be wondering, man, it's one round at a time for Nemo.
Yeah, not quite the explosive gameplay we're looking for here out of Kismet.
Yeah, it's not quite the accuracy you want from BBG.
Definitely not. Hopping into our 4th round here, we see Nemo with their first point on the board. Perform bomb carrier will be sat pretty on Zig, met closely with the player pushing through middle map. It's Pentagram and Kismet, aggressive with the submachine guns. Archives is in a great position to defend himself, and he does just that, as Zero is also able to find a kill onto Panda at a distance. First time we've seen him lose one of those in this series, it feels like. Now it's going to be Archives and Zero moving over towards the B site. Got our X all alone on the A site, completely separate. We should see a free bomb plant go down. Expect to see Nemo set up for the retake. It looks like they're going to be favoring the basketball court side of the map so far. And now it's going to be up to GodRx in this 1 versus 2.
And it depends on where they're playing it as well, because they planted it poolside. So instead of having Tiki in the background of kitchen to work through, now they're going to split up. This is very risky, but it might work out perfectly. The timing is there. GodRx has to read it perfectly. Fortunately, he's taking too long. He'll get caught. And the aggressiveness and the play call works out from Nemo. They tie it up, and I was a little bit worried on that plant, but you trust your instincts, and as a team, you work on the pinch together.
Right. I didn't expect them to stay on that side because, of course, we saw them plant for the pool. Playing their cards right, though. They had the crossfire. They were able to wait for the flank and find that round-ending kill. Tied up here, we are at 2-2 with Built by Gamers and Nemo. So far, Perform still killless. We saw in our previous rounds, the bomb carrier Kismet was able to delete half of his team with a quickness. Now it's going to be an offensive front on B site, and the first blood goes in favor of Nemo, and it's by their hands this time as Pentagram falls.
And done a great job of kind of rallying that awkward round from BBG into some extra touches here. Perform still looking for his first. Kismet will be hunting for at least the first blood, and now you're looking at the island split. You got player 8 and 6. That's Perform and Zyral on opposite ends of the map. They're looking for that pinch, but GodRx is sandwiched between.
Right.
If he finds Zyral, I mean, this kind of opens up things for BBG. You play numbers on site, but you also have to worry about the pinch from Kitchen.
That's right. How is everything going to fall into place? When will this flank be executed? Perform finds Pander, decides not to wait. He still finds the first kill and goes untraded. Rambi coming back to middle map for support as well, and they all fall at once. Nemo pulling ahead in their third round win to bring it up 3-2.
Yeah, in that situation, if you're playing that spread out with you know, we'll call it for sake of argument, both angers in the very far backside of the map looking for the pinch, it comes down to one of their plays, right? So Zyral is going to be running point, at least for the call. It comes down to his first blood. If he finds the kill, everything else just follows suit. He does so. And look how quickly the round collapsed for BBG once Zyral found that first blood. So everyone falls in. He pulls off a Kismet. 7-3 now on a 3 spree. Rambi falling back to spawn. But here comes the rotation from BBG as that bomb will go down.
Bomb down on B site, planted towards the bedroom. No middle map control for either team at this point, but the closest one to it will be the Nemo players. We got Perform sat at the bottom of the stairs. It's going to be all outdoors on the pool side of the map here as GodRx holding down that trigger, waiting for someone to cross his sights, and Perform decides to take a trip up the stairs and finds Pentagram. A great short game. He finds his first kill, connects with Kismet at the top of the stairs. He's in a great spot right now. Excellent support for his team as GodRx is left tagged up and alone on the site, bloodied as well as Pander. He falls, and now it's GodRx in a 1 versus 3. They're looking for him. They found him, and Nemo find their 4th round win.
Again, it just comes down to individual gunfights, and well done. Nemo. Perform. Doing a great job of bouncing back. Perform specifically. This win on Kismet is huge. You know where the last 2 members will be, and with Perform roaming like that through Kitchen, I mean, it shuts down the overextension for a chance to be pressured from pull steps. Nemo just doing a nice job of kind of controlling the chaos, right? That's a sentence we throw around quite often, an idea that sounds much more, you know, paper thin and surface level, but really, when you're able to control the chaos, kind of dictate the flow of traffic, especially when gunfights are falling quickly in a map like Raid, it gets a lot easier to close rounds out. Archives once more picking up first blood. And another situation where Built by Gamers have to play a man down off the start. They will get one back, but still, Nemo in a favorable position here.
Yeah, coming into this round, we saw Archives extend that streak to 5. Perform was on 4, being the first to fall for the side of Nemo, as Built by Gamers is able to even things up 3-3 and get just enough site control at A to put the bomb down. They do give up Laundry. We see 3 players of Nemo taking it happily, as the rest of Built by Gamers fall back and try and set up around Art. First blood from this wave of engagements goes to Pentagram of Built by Gamers, and GodRx follows up with a gut punch onto Zero as he tried to come along the side there. Now it's going to be Archives in a 1 versus 3.
Yeah, the only thing you're doing if you're Archives is trying to find Pentagram. He's got 2 kills. He's not really towards streaks, but you don't want to feed him. If you take him down, great. If not, maybe try to hop off the map. Pentagram now 3 in a row. Not able to clutch up on the 1v3. slowly working their way back, though. Built by Gamers not out of this one by any stretch. I mean, you look at the stat line for BBG and you're thinking, okay, maybe they're down a round or two, and that is the case, but it feels like it's been a lot closer throughout this entire game, where moments have really come down to flurry of kills, maybe 2 or 3, and then the round quickly drops. We spend about 30-40 seconds setting up the play, and then when the play starts to get executed, everyone dies. So it has not been that drawn out of an S&D. More shots will ring out. Everyone following suit. Kismet tags up 2, is able to get 2. An advantage to BBG. Entire advantage to BBG. 3v1.
Kismet playing middle map beautifully. Not hesitating to go for the wall bang. Ducking behind cover just in time. That's someone that sat on that exact engagement so many times. Countless engagements. Countless hours of practice. Paying off to hold such an important part of the map. And we're seeing Zero in a 1 versus 3. He's giving away his position now. He's outnumbered, outgunned. 40 seconds left on the clock. It's a scary one. He might, drop their first round. As Zero is still able to get pentagrams. They got to finish the job here. And that's going to be it. Built by Gamers takes it to tie it up again at 4-4.
What's oddly surprising is how Nemo played that round, because they pushed up Zig and shots were ringing out from Kitchen regardless. And instead of kind of falling back and, kind of working their way through bedroom and trying to get out to spiral, or just overextending back around and hitting the flank to mansion, they just pushed right up into the gunfire. I mean, Kismet's going to probably play there, or if not, hit driveway and try to get behind you every time. I'm just, kind of wondering about the decision there from Nemo to push 2 members out, especially 2 members like Rambi, where that's one of your front subs.
It's a tough call.
The question, yeah.
It's certainly a tough call. Certainly a tough call as we move over towards the A site. Bomb's going to be on the opposite end of the map, on Pool, all on its lonesome. Luckily, he will only be met with a Rambi at a distance and also out of sight, out of mind so far. The rotation, the audible is called as they start all to set up towards the B-bomb site, and that forced Nemo to commit a few players to that A site and continue to hold. So we'll have to see how the middle to late game result of this round is.
Zarol needed that gunfight. He's info. He's the island. He's info. He picks up 1. It's good enough, but at least he gets something. Rambi shut down. It all collapses so quickly. Perform's able to make it 3-2. Pentagram on your screen. Should have a free kill. He will. Great reads there. Bomb down. Archives now last alive once more in a 1v3 situation, which we have seen multiple times as Nemo have been stunned these past couple of rounds. And Zyro all the way at basketball court. He's your information. If he gets a kill, it's a bonus, but he's just looking for Kismet. As soon as he sees Kismet, he should have backed off the play if he didn't have the shots and try to work back with his team. Instead, he tries to take down Kismet. Unsuccessful. They lose numbers. Everybody quickly falls. And that is just a round kind of given away, as Nemo were forced into a tight chokehold, and Built by Gamers putting on the pressure to take it 2 rounds in a row, now at 5-4.
Yes, Kismet at 6-6 on a 3 streak. He has had some highly impactful kills in the Search and Destroy so far, as Built by Gamers find themselves at map point. We're looking through the eyes of Nemo, though. Pushing through middle map, they're met with opposition right off the bat from Kitchen. Kismet's caught by Zyro. The Creek 4 shot so timely for them in that push, and they end up falling back, but still favoring this A side of the map, as Archives is going to be sitting middle, waiting for the call, waiting for a pick. Top Laundry is where a little bit of noise might be at as Pander. You don't want to cross his line of sight.
Now you stack the spawn peak. Now you can kind of fluster out. Great nade from Zyro. Makes things a little bit easier. 3v2.
It's always easier when you don't have to shoot back at Pander. This is the best way to do it.
You hear that little dink and you're like, oh, that's nice.
Satisfies one of those sounds. Got RX. Is able to find Zyro at a distance. 2 between the eyes is enough as he puts him down on White Van. 25 seconds remaining in this 2 versus 2. He's got support close by with Pentagram, and they know the action's coming from Art. 1 on middle map as well. It's not safe to defuse just yet. There's still too many eyes, too much pressure on the map. 1 last alive, it's Rambi. They're looking for him. He catches GodRX off guard. Tagged up, he's not finished the job. Semtex well placed beneath the objective, and that's going to tie us up at 5-5 as we go to round 11.
That takes so much trust in your teammate for what Rambi just pulled off, because they gave so much room after the post plant. There really was no positioning. They just fell back kind of towards spawn. You had Rambi working through bedroom, and that is just a lot of trust in your teammate, because not only do you not have eyes on bomb, but if you get caught out and isolated, so far you haven't been winning the individual gunfights. That could have been disastrous, but Rambi plays it well, plays time at the end, wins the 1v2. Now we go to round 11 for game 2. This is a big one. Tie series could be coming up. Do Built by Gamers take it 2-0? That's the question now. Shots ring out. Another 4-stack towards Spiral. This is the first time Built by Gamers have pushed this strat on this map in game 2. And I think Kismet really wants to get aggressive, but that stun will not help anything.
Big commitment here from Built by Gamers. All 4 players heading straight into Laundry. Got to imagine they don't give this one back. Players 5 and 6, Archive, Zyril, the duo way back in Rocks. Some shots go down, so of course they know they're there. Bombs going down on A as well, and there is a flank coming in from Perform, as we can see. So I'm interested to see how this flank plays out. I don't think anyone was looking for it.
He's taking a while. He's going to find one. His job is done. And he just needs to escape with his life. Yep. Draw attention away from the site.
He's doing exactly what he needs to do.
Now you get teammates to rotate in. Yep, that's exactly what you do.
So they end up finding him, but they need to capitalize on that one. Ramby's able to do just that as he takes down GodRx. Looking for the trade in every direction, but it ended up being the one way he didn't look, and Built by Gamers are able to defend the bomb site and put themselves up in game number 2.
Zyril, I mean, kind of working through no man's land, and Ramby was trying to dip out of Kismet's way, but you had such great execution there from Nemo at the end, but after that first blood, everything else collapsed. You had driveway control. I mean, you have so much room on the map to be able to work up to the site. Everything else collapsed. That was first blood and a loss of a 3v4 from Nemo, and you know, things kind of happened pretty quickly around bedroom, but it seemed like there were moments there, even on that flank, to kind of sway the round back in your favor. You have a 4v3, but your players start getting picked out of nowhere. Zyril rotating late in on the play, gets caught. They're not expecting the position of Built by Gamers to be where it was, and you can see the replay here. There were multiple times where Nemo had opportunities to kind of close things out, especially in that last round. And Fox, they were just unable to. The positioning from Built by Gamers a little bit better in this match.
Absolutely. Something was off with the timing for the side of Nemo on numerous occasions, but especially in that final round where we saw Perform multiple times throughout this search and destroy. Was able to put himself in a great spot, finding a kill, shooting someone in the back, but they just weren't able to capitalize on it. And that's why you're seeing so many of these highlights for Nemo through his perspective. I mean, just around middle map and the art area, he was so disruptive and a big part of Nemo's success in this map.
BPG now up 2-0. I wish we could kind of give you a more interesting storyline than that, but I mean, the game 1 was pretty clinical all the way down to the wire, and even in the end, just kind of handling your business. Built by Gamers take the first hard point on Apocalypse. We go to S&D, where things get a little bit hectic, but still handling your business in that round 11, even when the pressure is on, even when you're down. Built by Gamers didn't look like they were straying away from the routine. They take it 6-5 in a rather anticlimactic round 11, and now we go to raid control. Here's the layout once more. And this is a huge map, obviously, for Nemo. You don't want to get swept in the semifinals. That's never the ideal situation. But this is a big map to bounce back on, because Raid is a way of neutralizing things. Raid has a way of kind of evening the series. And in a situation where it looked like you should have taken map 2, you're up 5-3 or 5-4 at some point. You just kind of give it away near the end. And now we go to control on the same field. Fox, predictions, ideas, thoughts, commentary. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking if you're Nemo, you're feeling real scared right now. These are guys that are, I don't want to say mediocre, but about even on Search and Destroy and Control. They're certainly not a team that would stand out to you in that regard. You want to see them make it to Moscow, but Built by Gamers, they're not going to make it easy on Raid Control. I mean, we've seen the story for map 1 and 2 this series. It's a close match all the way up until right where it matters, the end, that closing moment, the final hill, the final round in a Search and Destroy, and Built by Gamers has been able to come out on top. They're 2 for 2 so far.
Yeah, this is not a series where you're going to go in trying to outshoot one another, really, and it sounds stupid on the surface, and sure it is, but you're not going to try to outshoot BBG. What you're going to try to do is outthink them and outplay them, and that really comes down to, again,
right.
You're successful in your attempts around and just taking players out of position, trying to make sure that Panda is in a power position, that Kismet is not successfully working behind your game plan and disrupting the next call on the field. It's going to come down to really the ARs. I got to look at Archives. I got to look at Perform. Can they step up in this control? Raid game 3. Here we go.
So Raid game 3, we find ourselves right back on the estate on Raid. In a respawn game mode on Control, all players pushing towards the full side of the map, and we see Panda doing damage right off the start before being taken down. Perform, maintaining that position on stairs. You're going to see how important it is for holding this site down. That's why Pentagram prioritizes it right away, rewarded with the double kill he is as he waits for his support to join him. He's halfway through the second tier of the tick progress for the B control point, and no one looks to be stopping him here. Pender has support. He looks away at the worst time, and Performer's going to get the better of him here. What does Pentagram do about it? Last line of defense. No one poking out just yet. They're able to complete it. No one challenged. The player on basketball courts was great support as well. And point B secured just like that. More time on the board. And now Nemo has 2 minutes to work with to try and capture the A point. Pentagram is up 5-0.
Seemed like for a while you had those back bedroom spawns for Built by Gamers, and they were playing a 2v4 and they were stacking inside the point. Nemo just couldn't find the kills, and you know, I look stupid now because I'm saying you're not going to outshoot him. Well, you needed to there. You needed to find a way to just clear him off. You can't even get numbers. Now Kismet working, trying to get his way through courtyard, but Pander is there as a guardian angel to help his cause. We move inside the point now. First tick working in onto A, but shots ring out. More gunfights ensue, and walking away, Built by Gamers have a decent chunk of time to work with. As long as Pander is secure, Daughter X Nade will help things. And once more, the pressure mounts inside the point, and Nemo, they just can't find anything. They're not able to get these players out and clear them off the lane. A is slowly getting secured, and you need Perform to slide on in and pick up a couple. He's able to find one. Ramby there. Trades are out. One more will fall. 3 more dead. I've never really seen this before where Built by Gamers are playing 2v4s inside the point. Nemo cannot do anything to stop round 1.
Swept up real quick, and look, we're looking through the eyes of the man that did most of the damage, especially in the opening minute of this game. Pentagram started off this game 5-0 as they captured point B with very little opposition from the side of Nemo, moving over towards the A point again. The pressure was just not there from the submachine guns. They could not they could not stay in the action. They were not in the mix, and Built by Gamers, they took full advantage of it.
That was a very quick round 1. I mean, you're talking about ways to go into this control. One of the best things you can do is slow the game down, try to work through your progressions a little bit more methodically, try to figure out how Built by Gamers are going to play, but they're just kind of running up and punching you in the mouth. They have consistently put numbers inside the hill, and when they lose, they have spawns ready in there. They'll flood right back in, but playing 2v4s confidently is something you don't normally see. Now you need the ARs of Nemo to really pick things up. Archive's going to try to work through Dig, getting shot from every angle. Luckily, your teammate's there to take some of the attention off, but it doesn't translate to anything. They're still losing the gunfights 29-25. This round's quickly gotten out of hand. Still plenty of time to be able to bring yourself back in this one, but look at the positioning on the minimap. All the space the Built by Gamers have. More importantly, they're winning individual gunfights. They're making things more difficult for Nemo. Now you have to bunch up in courtyard. How do you play out of this chokehold?
It's so scary if you're Nemo. You feel like you're constantly playing defense, and Built by Gamers are really dictating the flow of this map. Kismet finds himself on his first 5 streak of this game before being taken down. But of course, we see Built by Gamers hopping right onto the point for some defense. All players from Nemo pushing in from the same side. 4 straight through pool, 1 towards the stairs. The submachine guns win it again as Pentagram stays alive. Middle map shut down as well. It's closed because Pander's there. The trade comes through with the support close by as GodRx takes position at the top of the stairs. Well played, Semtex. 2 of them from Ramby on this map.
You have lives, but not many. You're slowly losing the advantage. 10 seconds. Finally, you get yourself into A. This is one of the easier ones to lock down as long as your ARs are peppering in shots. But Zyro leaves a power position. I know he was trying to avoid streaks, but everyone quickly drops. Last alive, Ramby, in a 1v2 situation, is able to find one. More pushing up through courtyard is Kismet. Won't find the gunfight. Ramby quite literally keeping Nemo in this game long enough for spawns to come back into the equation. Now they just have to work on locking down the zone, but Pentagram has other ideas. He's able to take 2, and Built by Gamers slaughter everyone inside the point. It looked promising, but not promising enough. A 2-0 lead.
Wow. Built by Gamers really taking it to Nemo right now. I mean, Pentagram just only 3 deaths up to this point. He feels like, it seems like he's always right where he needs to be on the map. You got the support of Pander as well with their ARs. And I mean, it's just really, they have so many threats on the side of Built by Gamers working in their advantage right now.
With how close game 1 was down to, you know, essentially the final hill, and then how back and forth game 2 was, even though round 11 was relatively easy for BBG, even a 3v4. That's kind of been the story of today. Numbers advantage doesn't mean much. This might be a very quick 3-0. And we expected maybe 1 or 2 3-0s going into the playoffs today. Certainly not this fast. There's a nice couple of kills will train together. So off the start, a better round 3 than you've had. Archives will clean up Pentagram. couple of trades there, but no worries so far. 28-26, Rainy inside, Krieg in hand, able to find one. You know where BBG are coming from. Now you just need numbers to help out, but the decision to rotate through kitchen might take some time off this point. Ramby fighting for his life, dipping and diving, is able to find enough. Here come reinforcements. Here comes a chance. Now last alive for Perform, and the decision to go through kitchen might not pay off. They get cleared out. I mean, what more do you do if you're Nemo?
Real tough one, built by gamers in the driver's seat once again, finding that initial time onto the B tick, or to the B control point. The first tick progress almost completed. They will have one player meeting them behind them in the basketball court. That's player number 8, Perform. They also got 2 coming down through the stairs. How will they meet with this offensive push? It seems as though Nemo will get the better of them and clear it all out. Back in a defensive position again.
You have numbers split of resources. With that said, 30 seconds to go. You need to make a decision. You need to go to A or B. You got 1 tick on B. Pentagram winning a big gunfight in front. Courtyard control here for BBG. Diamatti won't be able to do much. 24 seconds now.
Working through the second tick. Well-placed Semtex. Panda's going to connect with 1-3 for the side of Built by Gamers as they continue the point progress onto B. It's GodRx and Archives. He's got support, but Kismet gets gunned instantly. GodRx for the trade. Progress is also being started at A, so you have to expect to see Nemo send some resources that way, but they're losing their gunfights too. This game is crumbling in their hands. Just in front of them is Built by Gamers. Pull away with another victory. 3 straight maps for the victory in this series.
I wish I could say it was close in the end, but it wasn't. It was all of BBG. It was not a close control. It was not a close first 3 rounds. And that last statement at the end, the streaks come in, everyone drops. You had a chance on defense, but everyone gets wiped off the board. I mean, you know, it's the first series of the day, sure, but I'm a little bit speechless, Fox. That was one of the hotter 3-0s I think we've seen this season. I mean, that felt like a week 1 matchup, and this is for a chance to make it to the grand final. That was not what I expected, and Nemo get kind of destroyed here for the first series of the day.
Yeah, I mean, BBG heard Easter and company weren't all here for the tournament, so they said, okay, we're showing up to come out in first place. Hot 3-0 start. They want to make it a quick night and get to the end of our tournament here. Yeah. Really just an awesome fight from both sides up until we got to that control. Very sloppy, and it was just all Built by Gamers all the time.
It really was. I mean, there's not really much more we can break down. Built by Gamers handled their business and handled it quite well. Let's look at the bracket for tonight because we got one more semifinals match coming up right after this one. Then we have a grand final. Built by Gamers 3-0. They make their way to the grand final for the first time ever in the Elite Series. And what a way to do it in hot fashion. Trash Bros versus the System is coming up next. And that means that one of those 2 teams will be meeting a very hot and warmed up BBG. Fox, do you think that 3-0 is going to hurt BBG? I mean, we're pulling at straws here, but I mean, you don't have really a tough series, so you're kind of just cakewalking your way to a chance for $20,000. Surely this next matchup is going to be a little bit more contested, do you think?
Oh, absolutely, it will. BBG cannot let their guard down. But at this point with that 3-0, they got to be feeling hot. That's exactly how you want to feel coming into this one. The vibes are good. You're going up against the toughest competition left in the tournament. You missed out on some of the other competition that ended up being relegated and removed from the competition. So it should be an exciting night to finish it off.
Yeah, vibes are immaculate. We'll leave it at that. But thank you guys for always tuning in, supporting challengers. And guess what? Your reward is another semifinals match coming up right after this quick commercial break. And when we return, we'll see who meets BBG in the grand finals. Welcome back to the final semifinals match of the night. One of these two teams going to be joining Built by Gamers in the grand final. I'm Spaceman, that's Fox, and this is the last match before we get to the grand finals, folks. Welcome back into the stream. How you doing? Hope you're having a good night. It's North American time, baby. Welcome back to domestic turf. Fox, how you doing, brother? It was a blowout in that first series, man. I'm hoping we get a little bit of closer one here, possibly game 5 going into this match. What are you thinking? Yeah.
Built by Gamers, of course, last series we saw that they had a very devastating finish to the series at third map. Swift, as soon as the whistle was blown, the game was over. Game 1 and 2, we saw it was very close up until the closing minute of the matchups. I'm looking forward to having a bit more of a competitive series here. We got the System facing off against Tech Trash Bros. And Space, is there something that stands out to you about the players on the side of the System as we look through the eyes of Jin?
Yeah, the fact that it's kind of like we walked down the candy aisle from the entire Elite season and picked up the best players and put them on a roster. I mean, Easter used to hold that, then Wester, and now we've kind of got this amalgamation of a bunch of different powerhouse teams that used to be in the Elite series, and it just seems like this is kind of where things lie near the end of the season. But before we get kind of deep into the action, that's for dead, we want to give a massive shout out to our observing team. I mean, these guys do everything necessary to give you the action on screen, for us a chance to actually call it. We wouldn't be able to do our job without them, and we thank them so much. Constantly finding the best action to put on screen. If you haven't checked out the quick little documentary, the CDL on our observing team, please go check it out. It's wonderful. They do an absolutely excellent job. Best observing team in any esport, bar none. The absolute best in the business.
The hot hands, baby. Hot hands. Pay attention to those folks as we see the first lead switch happen as the System is able to pull themselves ahead with the initial time of this hard point. Fellow sat underneath the plane. We talked a bit about Fellow. He saw some time on that Easter roster that we saw relegated from the Call of Duty Challenger series. On defense, that was the remaining roster of the System. They're cleared out quickly. Yuli was able to get in there and do some damage. And now the hill has flipped right back over into the possession of Trash Bros. Still though, the System have the favorable spawns. The Thorium, the War of Attrition should be won by them as they flip it right back to purple and maintain their lead.
It's truly been a wild season in North America. I mean, Trash Bros, the #1 team coming into this, not only tournament, but the playoff bracket as a whole. The System, sure, you look at the names, you look on paper, and you should say they should be top 2. Well, not exactly, and more importantly for Trash Bros, it's just been a little bit better. They come in with kills in S&D. I mean, you got Ulysses at 0.91, second in the region, but when it comes to kind of kills per minute in Hardpoint, Trash Bros, we got 2 of the best. You got Ulysses at 2.47, but more importantly, Mock has had the #1 KD overall in North America throughout the entire region all season long. He has been the absolute best player in North America for Elite Season 4, and so far, he's off to 4-6. Not the best of starts, but hey, you got a lot of hard points to play through and much more time to grab up. It's about a tie game, and for Trash Bros, this is a massive semifinals. This could be their first chance as players to make it to a grand final.
Mock is using his time wisely to collect 6 kills in a row. He's going to find that triple kill to round out the last half of it. And now to follow up the action is Jintroid as they try to defend this plane hardpoint. Yuli will be the last alive underneath it, though, met with several the System players swarming him and trying to get that objective. This lead, oh so delicate, only by about 10 seconds. The System can certainly upset that with the initial time on the next hardpoint. And that's going to be the fight that we talk about. We're mentioning the Trash Bros coming into the series and just how great they've been. We're also mentioning how the players are all in high spirits. You see them talking on Twitter, talking up their teammates, really excited for what they've put together. Of course, they're going to be supported by Coach Faded from at home, who has been a consistent coach for many rosters throughout the Call of Duty World League, or throughout the Call of Duty League since the start of Cold War. He was alongside Fellow, John, and Naga before they became Easter. You know, we saw this team recently beat Saints team 3-2 in the #16 Cup in North America. So this is an experienced team, and they got a good set of eyes watching over.
We got kind of our first taste of Hollow and Jintroid, kind of as a duo back, I believe, on the UIU roster in Modern Warfare, if memory serves correct. And man, they were such a powerhouse of a couple of guys. I mean, they were consistently putting up numbers against teams like Atlanta FaZe Academy. You look at duos there that used to exist. You got, you know, Jimbo, you got Civ, you got Gravity, but Hollow and Jintroid were absolutely electric, and our palates have been wondering, will we get that same electricity going into this year? So far, the question and the answer has been yes. I mean, you got 101 to 70 off the start, playing plenty of time to fight over. We look at the rotation to P5, 57 seconds now to fight over, and Fellow on your screen, who's bounced around rosters a couple of times, been up into the Pro League. He has to find a couple of kills to open this one up. System tend to start slow in game one hard points, but off the back of Decimate, Fellow, and Zed, they can really open up the game like they're doing now, and they have free roam moving into the hill.
Fellow, 4 in a row. Coming from Easter, coming from the Dallas Empire. This is a man with some experience under his belt and a shot in his gun. Hollow, though, is going to be able to find that double kill here, try and even things up. And we see the pressure still, the fight is still going down on the Hardpoint, and Zinx and Fellow are bringing it to him. Zinx is able to stay alive. Semtex behind his feet, though, as Mach heeds the call out from his teammates and is able to take the player off of the objective. Still trailing by about 20 seconds. The system does put Fellow on the hill, and Zed is looking to do some damage on plane. Watch as he hops up onto the wing, diving into the cabin. He finds a kill. Looks to be traded by the pistol player around the corner. Can he save himself? No. Hollow is able to finish the job. And still down by about 20 seconds, we see Trash Bros looking to push that lead further as they take the initial time on Plain Hill.
And Fellow not close behind, but neither is Decimate. He's been absolutely crucial to the success of System, and boasting one of the best hardpoint KDs on the roster. 2 more will fall. Cabin control at the moment for Trash Bros, but the System is inside, ready and waiting. 3 in the back. Who will fall in first? Zinx on your screen, but here comes Ulysses. Able to slide for 1. 2 will be there. Double kill to open it up, and they work their way through for the break. Ulysses a little bit too weak for another challenge, but guess what? Health back, gun in hand, bullets ready. 1 more kill. Decimate falls. 22 seconds still. Trash Bros with a great break, early time, and they're set up for P2.
Really looking to be the first player to break 20 kills. Several crucial gunfights won from him with AK-74U inside plane before the system is able to put him down and flip things over in their favor for the scrap time. Still trailing by 20 seconds. That's been the story so far for them on this map, as Trash Bros are already set up for the initial time. Pressure's already coming in as Mach is going to respond to it with that first blood. Zinx is able to stay alive and get the trade, but Yuli evens things up with a double kill. And of course, the team Trash Bros on defense, close to the hard point, they're able to get right back onto the objective as they fall. So that war of attrition will be in their favor every time.
AR battles are great, but sub pressure is better. Ulysses at 21 and 12, now inside the hard point, almost 2 minutes to his name. But what do you really want? What could you ask for? He's doing everything, and Jinchoi putting his shots into a couple, still alive. Hollow guiding the nade over, picks up Zed. It's a full break. Trash Bros doing their best, and more importantly, getting all the necessary time. Now you got 1 more break for System. Before you have to think about the rotation, a couple of trades back and forth for both sides, but this is kind of a lost cause now for System. You just got to start rotating. They have spawns in the back, but guess what? Going to P3, Trash Bros are ready and set up. And was it worth pushing for that last couple of seconds at this moment for System? I don't think it was.
Initial time looking to be in control of Trash Bros, who are also dominating your kill feed with 3 straight. Very poor map positioning here because of the split spawn coming in from System here, as the players are all staggered and spread across the map, but still not a lot of hill time to be won from the side of Trash Bros. We actually see the System step right back into the objective and find 2 kills of their own. So as they try to claw their way through from this now 60-second deficit, Trash Bros are looking to take over once again, get onto the plane. Zed sat comfortable and pretty, just waiting for someone to cross into his territory. The challenge is coming, and he steps up to the plate, tagged up, shot from behind. He still finds a kill and is unable to connect with the second, but the pressure that he puts on the bottom of the map right there is heated by Fellow, who comes through to finish the job with a double kill.
First couple of contests work for Trash Bros, but System responds in kind, hold on quickly. And patience pays off. It is a virtue after all. 189 to 150. This one getting much more close down to the wire. Fellow 2 in front. Can't find either. Shots are there. Tags are there, but trade will not be. Jintroy dipping and diving his way out of dodge. Will move in with Decimate close behind. Easily comes in for the pinch. Will avoid a nade and will get the kill there. Mach able to cut down 1. We look at trades inside the hill, and for P4, the control was there last time for Trash Bros, but the rotation was there for System, and they were able to clear out thanks to Fellow working through the back of the plane. Now with more utility flying in, not a lot of trophies have been placed down, so it's been wall-to-wall gunfights, a lot of utility being burned, but walking away is Trash Bros with the lead, and what was a 30, 20-point game. Now, Fox, it's getting out of hand. It's 209 and counting, 210 to 1. 152. What a great hill and a great P4 for Trash Bros.
Yeah, Trash Bros has been able to hold this lead for quite some time. They're able to answer back any sort of advantageous position that the system puts themselves in. We see Jintroid just great footwork around playing right here to remain disruptive around the objective and maintaining that middle map pressure, that middle map presence. The scrap time of this hardpoint will go to the system, though, as Zed is able to stay alive. Moving over to the new hardpoint, we have the system that has to fight through the Trash Bros defense. Look at them, perfectly fanned out to protect the objective. Yuli going to be a lone player on the objective. Met with Fellow right here, Decimate as well in the action. And the hill time is going to be taken over by the system as they're able to clear it out.
It's going to be a close one down to the wire, but you're in a good position to close out game one. 220 in counting, but here comes the resurgence system inside the hill. Zinx can't pick up one, and when you need him to find at least something most, he's unable to answer the call. A teammate doesn't help, but don't worry. Guardian Angel there for Hollow. Fellow drops. Decimate getting challenged. Wins a big gunfight, but Mock is ready and waiting for that last peek. Will he find it? So far, the numbers there for system. They collapse in, but Mock playing his life and baiting with his teammates, able to pick up a double that opens up the hill. Ulysses currently working through the backup plane. What a pinch, what a break, what a hold, what a clear. Trash Bros buying their time, playing patiently, and now they're set up for P1. It looked chaotic, it looked dangerous, but right now they're going to close out this map one, and not much is being contested from system. They have to work in, but the Diamatti shutting down everything. This is looking good.
Trash Bros, they're looking cozy. Hollow, feet planted on the plane wing. They got to take him down before they can even hope to get close to the objective, and they might not have enough time to do it. Trash Bros puts it away.
Statement of a game one. Much more hotly contested down the stretch and a little bit in the middle, but near the end, the patience, and you see why Mock is the best player in North America right now. The dude is a tank. He's got the best KD in hardpoint, and more importantly, he is frying. Look at his position in top cabin, how quickly he moves in and out of gunfights, shutting down Fellow and Spawn, doing his job with the Krieg in hand. Well done in game one. And going into this series, you know, we were chattering a little bit in the green room and between matches, talking about what do we think is going to happen. Well, what's the challenge going to be like to BBG? Who do we think is going to take this series? I got to tell you, I feel like a lot of people are overlooking Trash Bros, even though they're number one in the region. This team is the real deal, and man, they can bring the fight. Looking at the replays here in game one, Fox, I mean, consistently finding 2-3 pieces to open up. Jintroid was huge with the AK, but at the end, the patience from this roster, they never looked like they were out of the fight, and they were always finding ways to win rotation.
Yeah, for sure. I have to say, I'm really looking forward to see Trash Bros go the distance. I mean, they went the distance against Saints team, going all the way to game 5 to find that victory. And I just got to commend their resilience, and we see it again here in this hardpoint as the system they had those regular moments where it looked like the tide could shift in their favor and they could come back, but Trash Bros kept their foot on the gas and shut it right down. I'm really impressed by both teams so far. I'm looking forward to see how the rest of the series unfolds here. Coaches at home, though, we've had great influence from the coaches at home in this lobby. Is going to be Coach Bales to the side of the system, and of course I already mentioned Coach Vader for Trash Bros, but I think the impact of coaches in the Challenger Series is being noticed. I found that the longer the game has gone on, the more consistently we've seen rosters pick up coaches for their team, even if they're new rosters.
Yeah, we've not only seen coaches, but we've seen secondary coaches, secondary assistants, analysts. Like Easter at one point was boasting 5 coaches and an analyst, like more than CDL teams. So there's always room to improve. And when you get the best minds around, it can really help your game. The one thing that doesn't help is when Zinx is going 15 and 30 and counting. Like double negative, triple negative does not help. Zinx as an AR was sorely missed on that map one, and the lack of AR pressure was clear in the score, in both the scoreboards and the kill feed itself. Consistently missing that extra bit of pressure from your AR and walking through game one near the end. I mean, the patience again, we reiterate that point, but it's important to note Trash Bros staying calm, cool, collected, composed in the traffic and guiding themselves through the chaos. Now we go to Moscow S&D. Garrison for Control coming up right after, but we go to a map where your ARs can eat all day, every day, and a little bit more clustered on those initial breaks, and more importantly, those first bloods on the sites. It's really going to come down to positioning. Right now, I got no idea how this series goes, Fox, but I got to tell you, I think people need to stop sleeping on Trash Bros. They could make this 2-0 very quickly.
Oh, they're going to wake you right up if you're sleeping on Trash Bros. They're starting off the series with a 250 to 180 victory. I think that we should look to see more of their success unfold as we see the rounds conclude in Search and Destroy. I think the Trash Bros is going to be a force in the remaining matches that we have for our tournament tonight, and they're already showing in our first series here.
Yeah, it certainly does. And now we go to a game where Ulysses really has a field day. He is one of the best players in North America when it comes to kills per round in S&D, right? He's boasting a .91, second in the region. Almost a guaranteed first blood every single round in S&D. And what that does for your team, not only just playing advantage, sure, but the confidence to understand that you're going to be able to get yourself out of tough situations, almost mathematically guaranteed. Not only that, Hollow, fifth in the region at .84 when it comes to kills per round in games 2 and 5. So you got two players in the top 5 when it comes to getting kills per round in this crucial game 2 and 5, if we need to go there. This
You got
is a
your
big one.
playmaker. You got someone you can rely on, right?
It's huge.
Absolutely. Looking into an offensive round for the side of the system, we got Zed as your dedicated bomb carrier. Typically the bomb carrier for his previous teams as well, so he should be right at home in this role. He will be close to the action, though. Someone gave away too much of themselves. That's Mach. First player to be shut down. First blood goes in favor of the system, and now the map is theirs to do with it whatever they please. 2 more kills they're able to connect with. And Gentroid is the only one for the side of Trash Bros that has been able to respond as he finds himself in a 1 versus 3 with the bomb down.
I love that call with Zed running bomb right up the gut and moving it straight to B. A lot of times you see teams rotate up Main Street. They try to get cheeky, find first blood, move in with a retake, but from there, the confidence and system come out, and these are going to be the ones you're going to have to grind through if you want to win. Trash Bros going up against a very tough S&D team. And while they might have gotten blown out a little bit in the hard point near the end, you're not going to catch them off guard in S&D. These are 4 veterans and 4 of the smartest players and challengers when it comes to slowing the game down.
That's right. And the system, like several other teams in the competition, started off the competition 4-0 in their map record. Then I believe going 5-2 in the next couple of games. I'm looking forward to see how they're able to stack up against Trash Bros, down 0-1 in the series. Trash Bros on their first offensive round, we see the bomb in the hands of Gentroid, peeking over that fence, trying to find a first blood and not connecting with a whole lot, but we do see so many players have been committed towards this A site. We're just waiting for something to boil over. Looks like they're actually deciding to pull out here. Several players from Trash Bros creating some distance between themselves and the A site as the bomb carrier seems to be favoring B. A little bit more lightly guarded it is from the side of the system.
Fellow was in the island by himself. Now the call comes over, but Ulysses gets the first blood. Here comes the collapse in onto the site. 2 more fall. 3v2. Bomb down. What a retake from system. I mean, Fellow was in a great position to play spoiler. Now you have to not only hit the long rotation, but no idea of where system may be. Just a general vicinity that might be pinging on your radar. As Zinx will try to creep his way down the steps, immediately gets punished. As Mach wins a huge gunfight thanks to the headshot. 2v2. Hollow and Mach last alive. They have to get bombed. They have to in it, but they have to take out Zed. There goes the nade. You're going to have to push up and grab it. Now what do you do?
Hollow tagged up. Decimate also trying to look for a gunfight on the bomb site. We kind of just see all these players ducking and weaving between the doorways, trying not to get caught. The system, though, is able to catch them in the end and find their second round win in a row. I love the mind games that are played around these doorways. You never know when there's an AK-74U around the corner, but there always is. You see Zed right here in the round and kill cam showing you just that.
Patience from Zed once more. You know, we really harped on the patience of Trash Bros in that game 1. But again, going into a map mode combo like this, those entry subs are going to slow it down on the site and force you to make a play. Zed does that, leaves bomb out in the open, backs up, and forces Trash Bros to get aggressive on the ego chow, right? They go for bomb, they don't get it. Zed 4-0. And now we look for a hit over to A.
Big trophy system support right here. All 4 players from the side of the system committing to the A site. You see the bomb carrier Zed also has access to a trophy system of his own that has not yet been used. Gentroid, tagged up, is still able to peek out, challenge, and find a kill. Bricks is in trouble. Mach is looking for them. Yuli is just right into the mix. 1 player last alive is Decimate. And you got to imagine that he does not win this round, but he is in a 1 versus 3. Yuli is going to be the one to finish it off.
Last thing you want to do if you're Trash Bros is give system any room to continue to stay alive, right? Don't let them roam around the site. Don't let them dip out of gunfights. If you can lock them down, get eyes on them, get the call and move up. Hollow doing a great job on this little bait. Movement on point. Gunfight trade there. Assist is there as well, but working through the back, able to close down on system. 4-1 for Zed. 3-3 for Hollow. So far, so good. About dead even. 2-1. Let's go into round number 4 now. Your bomb carrier will be Gentroid. What is the call?
Trash Bros moving towards the B site. This is the team that secured their spot in this tournament on June 4th alongside BBG. They're looking to meet them here in the end, towards the end of the Elite season. Still find themselves down 1 round in this search and destroy, but up 1-0 in the map count overall. And it looks like they have a wide open B bomb site. Players 4 and 3, Fellow and Decimate, so close to the action. You should expect to see them come here and disrupt something. Semtex comes out. It's not going to do enough to take out the bomb carrier, though. They do have trophy system support for any more utility that follows that up, as the system now sets up for the retake.
Gentroid might get lucky. Fellow walks right into the gunfight, but here comes the cross. Decimate, everyone inside the window. More fall 2-1. Decimate going to stick it. Mock, he just needs to read once. He just needs to read once. He's going to get it. There will be Trash Bros get the round. And the late rotation was kind of worrying me, but nonetheless, they take the gunfights appropriately. They push the issue, and System tried to fly in. Decimate cleans up Gentroid inside. Ulysses able to pick up one, which really just gave the round right back to Trash Bros. I like the call as Decimate tried to stick, but easy around the board. Trash Bros get the second round. We're all tied up.
Of course, bomb carrier Zed going to kick things off for the side of the system, moving towards the A bomb site once again. Last time we saw just how quickly they pushed straight through this site. Looks to be a repeat of that here. Of course, peeking over the wall right there. They want to get Rick's control, and they want to get it quickly. Gentroid just around the corner. Hollow also making that. Really falling first should allow a submachine gun player to move up. Gentroid sees this, and he takes that space away from them. But Trash Bros snatches it right back. 1 versus 2 now, as Fellow is able to even things up on his own. And Trash Bros, the final player, is able to push through and finish him off tagged up on escalators.
They're forcing Zinx to hit shots. Right now, he's not doing it. And Fellow was so weak in all these gunfights. Regardless, the snap is there. But the response from Trash Bros towards Bricks really causing the issue of the other ARs on the opposite end to fire back. System have not been responding. It was an advantage for Trash Bros in numbers. They quickly fall. And even though Fellow walks away with a chance at a 1v3, still, the damage was done, and Trash Bros now in the driver's seat of being able to go up 4-2 in this game, and what a way to do it, and what a blow to kind of the morale of System with how good they started this game too.
3-1 split is the call from Trash Bros. That's going to be Mock towards the middle of the map. You can see him cut through Eskies to support the team, or be there for the audible, as it looks like the play call is to move through the middle of the map, work for that first blood. They do have Fellow sat back pretty far, watching for the doorway, in case anyone decides to get antsy. Checking the B-bomb site as well, and no one's home. So as Fellow communicates that to his team, you see the 3 remaining players on the side of the system are still comfortably positioned on the A site. Very slow round so far here, Space.
Yeah, Fellow does not want to wrap, but if he does, I mean, he gets behind him. This round's done. GG's. There comes the collapse. One more brick. Good read from Gentroid. 4v2, a wonderful read, and Ulysses will take over the spot. Now just get bombed down. Do not stack that corner. This map is cursed. Decimate challenges, wins it somehow. Here comes Ulysses. Does he go for the trade? Just put the bomb down, work numbers. Finally, the trade is there. And Decimate will fall. A little bit too close for my liking, but it works out nonetheless. 4-2.
And we kind of saw right there from Trash Bros. They pulled themselves up 4-2 in the series. The flank, the opportunity was there, but I think that the threat of a player waiting for it was enough for Fellow to decide to stay where he was at on the B site. Unfortunately for him, Trash Bros were perfectly comfortable with committing to the A site and did so with that man advantage and playing out to their benefit as they find themselves up 4-2.
Just kind of looking at the playstyle so far, it seems that Trash Bros are very quick to go for gunfights, which, you know, the aggressiveness pays off, sure. But in situations where you just have to play time or play bomb, you need to be a little bit smarter. That's a bunch of trades now into A. Nades do nothing.
Tossing all the utility.
Yep. Reinforcements will move back to Eskies. Ulysses, great gunfight, bomb down. Now you back up, force them to cause the issue. Fellow picks it up regardless. This is a great pinch, but none in the bullet. You got 6 bullets, brother. You gotta reload. Mock is there. Ulysses working up with Mock. Fellow slide down. He should get gunned. He will. Trash Bros take the round.
That's map point. If you're Trash Bros, you're feeling great. We're seeing how quickly the system wants these rounds to end, but it's just not working out in their favor when it gets tough, when the tension really starts to rise. We see Trash Bros come out on top every time. Yuli with 8 kills. Closest behind him are Jintroid and Hollow tied for 6. No one from system matching his output just yet, except for maybe Decimate. You got to imagine that the system, they got to pull it all together now. They can't make any more mistakes, or else Trash Bros going up 2-0 in the series.
Rather be down 3-2 than 4-2, or 4-3 than 5-2. First blood, Jintroid again. With how sloppy this S&D has been, you'd think system would find a way to kind of counteract the aggressiveness. So far, great there. Ulysses wins another big one. 9-4 on a 6 spree, getting close to streaks. You keep him alive, you can keep this game going, but there it is. Everyone getting cleaned up. Who cares about the conversation? It was close till round 3. After that, it was all of Trash Bros. They take it 6-2 in a dominating win.
For sure, you have to respect the Trash Bros output in that search and destroy. I mean, they met the aggression of the side of the system so well. They read the plays so well. Even the system, when you would see, they would be coordinating something, they'd be reading something. Trash Bros are just able to have someone like Yuli come through and find a multi-kill, blow the play wide open. Those fights that went down on bricks for the first several rounds of the map, I think were very telling as to the outcome of the remainder of the map.
Yeah, that was a very sloppy S&D. I mean, even aside from that one round where Zed picks up the 1v2 and kind of plays the bomb on B, this was very much just fight the team fight on site in the early round. There wasn't a lot of strategy from either side. Sure, we had a couple of long rotations, a couple of long flanks that worked out as ARs got in position to clean up the mass number of kills towards the site, but it was just sub pressure after sub pressure. Ulysses, Jintroid, you're seeing now why this Trash Bros roster is so dangerous in North America, why they're competing and constantly beating some of the best teams, because they just put pressure on. Even in the replay here, where you just put bomb down, you probably win this round. Ulysses still challenging, and Hollow was working through the back, so it's a guaranteed win. They are unrelenting when it comes to putting pressure on the bomb carrier, and Fellow could not escape for long. This was a chaotic one at that, but they're forcing the issue, and system just haven't been responding. We talked about the AR battle needing to be present. You know, you look at Zinx, you look at Fellow, they need to find a way to kind of slow the game down. That didn't happen in this S&D. After rounds 3 and 4, Fox, it was consistent Trash Bros trajectory all the way to the end, and now they're up 2-0. They're on the brink of making this the second 3-0 we've had here tonight. I don't know.
I mean, we saw Ulysses just shaking people out their boots, right? That man's movement around escalators, especially, and bricks with the submachine gun was a huge part of the success of Trash Bros throughout that search and destroy. So if we're going to see someone on the side of the system match that output, maybe we see a more competitive search and destroy. But really, they just played their cards right. They played to their advantage. They played to their outs and found a victory. Crushing victory at 6-2.
They really did. And now you go to a map like Garrison Control, which can be punishing regardless of what side you spawn on. You can find a way to trap everyone else, and it really comes down to your sub pressure at the bottom of the map. If you don't have that for the system, this one's done. You got to step up if you're Zed, you got to step up if you're Fellow, and for Zinx, you have to find a way to contribute a little bit more. I know we've harped on it quite a bit, but you can only rock that so many times. Decimate should be an X factor in this one. Top Green Control might be there, but we look at Trash Bros, there's nothing this roster can't do, man. Like, they're firing on all cylinders, and with the sub dominance that we've seen out of Ulysses and Hollow, like, it's a scary team. And let alone you put in, then again, the X factor that is Mock, who has the best KD across the region. Like, what can't this team do? We go to a map where your ARs and subs can absolutely eat. You can take over the game as either one. This is going to be a very interesting Garrison Control. What are you thinking, Fox?
I'm thinking that we're seeing Trash Bros show up with all the right tools in their belt, and they're facing off against a very unprepared team for this matchup. I mean, you have to imagine the players on the system are so experienced. They're so familiar with these high pressure situations, but Trash Bros just walking right through them so far. Coming into the Garrison Control, I don't anticipate that we see the system completely fold. I see them taking a series in this map, but I'm not convinced that they're able to take the whole series away from Trash Bros.
I mean, even watching Europe earlier, this is kind of how the day has gone, right? A bunch of 3-0s, then we get to the grand final. It's a best of 5 back and forth. Orgulus Elevate going head to head. You look here. I mean, we got Built by Gamers taking it early, a 3-0 win over Nemo. Now, Trash Bros is one map away from winning at 3-0, 3-1, 3-2. Doesn't matter. If they go to the grand final, you're looking at one that could very easily go the distance. But I didn't expect this matchup to be going in 2-0 fashion, at least, you know, not this quickly. Surely this has to be going the distance, at least to another Hardpoint Fox. Now we just wait to hope and see what these players can do on the field. If you guys have been enjoying the action, let us know in the YouTube chat, Twitter, Reddit, whatever you post your Call of Duty thoughts. Let us know what you're thinking of the action. More importantly, who you taking in this matchup? You got Trash Bros going 3-0. Do you got the system? Do you think the veteranship on the system is going to help propel them to another hard point? I'm going to make a prediction right now. I think this one's done 3-0. I think the subs are too hot, even though Decimate's an X factor, even though Decimate is arguably outside of Mock. I think Decimate all around is probably the best player in North America right now. Mock's on a different level. Ulysses is clearly on a different level. Hollow and Gintroid are unbeatable right now, Fox. I think that their ability to slow the game down and ramp it up and play through the chaos, this one might be done quickly. What are you predicting?
See, I'm going to have to disagree. I do think that we see Trash Bros take the series, but I don't think it's going to be as dominating of a fashion as you making it out to be. I think that we see the system come up, take this garrison control. It's not going to be an easy one. It's not going to be pretty. And Trash Bros are going to continue to put up the great fight that they've had in this series. But I think we have a more competitive series now than the first.
This is why I love you. I want you here to disagree with me. And then when you're right, I can just say, Fox, you were right. And then I look stupid. Everybody wins.
That's what Ulysses, I want to hear.
Don't worry, we'll hug someday in real life. Ulysses working through top green, but the collapse from system down to the bottom floor as Gintroid and Mock combine for 2. Mock slow to rotation. What? The Mantle still gets it. That hip fire is stupid. I don't care what anyone says. And he'll work his way over to A. Gun control for the moment will be there for Trash Bros, but the response from systems will shut it down regardless. Paulo working on the first take on B.
Hollow, Semtex tags him up right there. No trophy system support. He wins the gunfight anyway, shutting down Decimate, who was turning the corner in lights. He now makes progress through the third tick. The follow-up is there, though, as Zinx is able to find a crucial kill to stop the progress being made on point B. No one else from Trash Bros was able to follow up the play, so now they still have to hunt down Zinx. And with a quickness, Yuli shuts him down just like that to try and finish that third tier progress. He had some support from Fellow, but Hollow put him down as well. So expect to see point B captured, and expect to see great progress made on A as Zed is able to, unless Zed is able to stay alive here.
And the spawns are all the way out back at what would be P3, and that's a long rotation to get back into a gunfight. So if you're Gintroid now, and more importantly, if you're Ulysses, you're trying to stay alive and buy time for the rest of your team to push up. Decimate just gets absolutely destroyed, and Ulysses is going to work through the spawn. This is a dangerous position to be in. You can flip and get the game locked down onto round 1. There's one. Ulysses now roaming. He should get caught. He will. System read the push correctly, and they buy time, but they don't have green control, and this is where things get dangerous. Working through A, Zed works up behind like 1. Slide is there for 2. Zed, key gunfight, key win. Best play so far of the round.
Yeah, you needed him there. You absolutely needed Zed to be around Satellite and Green. He's the only reason, it feels like, the point that's not captured. His defense, stellar, for the side of the system. Now, still in the mix is Yuli. 8 kills to his name, most in the lobby at this point by quite a large margin. He still gets shut down by Zinx in a defensive position, leaving the remaining Trash Bros players on middle map to fight with still a man advantage around Green before they get to Satellite. They're coming out on top so far, but at a distance is Decimate that they still have not accounted for. He might actually be able to pull up the flank here, catch somebody off guard as he takes down Gintroid. At a distance is Hollow, playing off the communication, though he's able to finish that job. And so now this next push, moving over towards the A site. Expect to see Zed and Zinx kind of stick to what they've been doing, being successful around Satellite, keeping the players on Green at bay, and expect to see the players of Trash Bros continue to pour through middle map, get to bricks, be disruptive, and get that flank going.
Things has not left the point for about 50 seconds. Now the collapse is there. We were looking for the spawns to be in favor. Trash Bros just say, whatever, bull rush, we'll all get kills. It all works out. I got him. 29.7 seconds to go. They're inside. There's the break. You had one player sitting inside for systems, and so far they weren't dictating spawns, but they were reading them. They were winning the team fight at Green, and at the bottom of bricks down low on P4. Well, after that, it was one final collapse, one push, and all of a sudden, Trash Bros get 4 dead. They get inside. They clean it up. It was well played by System, but that was their last line of defense, was just win a team fight. After that, they spawned so far out, and that is where the offense needs to be a little bit better on the defensive foot. Wasn't there. A good round win by Trash Bros. They're up 1-0, and that was good patience again. We talked about that in game 1, Fox. We're going to bring it back up here. The patience to stay to your guns, stick true to the game plan. You got a minute left, bide your time appropriately, then push as a team. They did what they needed to do, and they get the first round.
Yes, we saw in the closing moments of that round, Trash Bros, the great wind that they are, were able to knock down the house of cards that System had set up. Zinx and Zed were sat in the same position for so long, and still all 4 players died without a response, and Trash Bros came through to finish the job. Now, as we get into the start of this next round, Trash Bros find themselves on defense. They find themselves with a player alive on middle map, more pressure than the side of the System, as the System is still focusing and mounting up a position around the B control site.
I'm expecting to see Ulysses and, more importantly, Jintroid working the bottom floor just to disrupt any players that move into the point. And that might be the call as Decimate works to top green, AR in hand, power position here. And do you commit to A now, or do you wait for spawns to get back right into the middle of the map? Numbers to funnel up, you get B locked down, then you commit resources over. Well, it looks like he's just going to look for a little bit of info and try to take attention off of B. That will be the call. No one else coming in for a contest, except for Hollow working through lights. What does he find? Fellow, not a lot in the clip, but still gets one. Here comes a challenge. More will be pushing into top green. Decimate fighting for his life. 2 more will fall. Jintroid last alive on the point. Decimate, nade in front, still alive. It's a team nade though, as Ulysses takes out Jintroid. Things quickly falling out of rhythm. 2 more will drop, and as soon as I say that, it's a double nade and a double win. All of a sudden, Trash Bros back in the swing of things.
So, of course, we see the play collapse in the end, but still, I think it was an awesome effort from the side of the System. They had 2 perfectly positioned players inside green, 2 perfectly positioned players on the B point. They also didn't get any pressure from lights, so they were able to hold everyone at bay, close out the point, and move over towards A. Unsuccessfully, but still a great effort. And now we're seeing pressure on the middle of the map as Hollow is able to stay alive on 3 streak. They're going to have to deal with him if they want to make some progress here. As they do that and make their moves towards the A point, no one's home. They're able to hold down arches and set up their trophy systems if they'd like.
Yeah, Hollow wasn't close to streaks, but, you know, you really look at an artillery here on A, and it helps kind of zone out the defense. But other than that, not much needed. Bell, once more on your screen, will get shut down. 2 more will fall. Mock, they'll thank him for that, and they'll have numbers currently on the zone as Zed's working through the back line, but didn't expect to spawn behind the tank, and that's a 50-50 read. He's unsuccessful, and it means Decimate has more work cut out for him through lights. Can he escape through behind and kind of dictate how these spawns will work? He should know that more numbers will be back here, and Hollow's going to run right into his sight. Decimate wins the gunfight. Things are looking good for Systems on the rotation.
Hollow losing that gunfight could be so troublesome as Hollow and Jintroid spawn in the bottom left corner, and the flank continues through bricks. Decimate still alive and should be able to help continue the progress on point A. You see Zed in position right where he was last round on defense. Now looking to close it out here with 44 seconds left on the clock. Tier 2 progress made on zone A. You got to expect Trash Bros to get in here and start doing some damage here soon, or else the System walk away with it.
It's 4v6. System have numbers quickly falling. Mock and Jintroid for 2. Spawns are out. You got 39 seconds. You need 1 hit. You play numbers. You win it. Where do your ARs go? How do the subs play it? Wait for the nades. Trophies are in top green. Jintroid dipping and diving around. Zinx currently working on the opposite end. If Jintroid runs in, he's going to get caught. And I think he knows this. He's playing his life so perfectly. One's working through mid-map. No, it's Zed and Decimate. Decimate going to come out for the challenge. Hollow spots him. In a 5v4, you just have to find numbers.
Julie, shots in the back. That's a huge kill right there. They're able to get some players off of the A site. No lives remaining for Trash Bros. Keep that in mind as 2 players finally fall. The System, they do have one in their back pocket, though, from that engagement. It's going to be Fellow, last alive in a 1 versus 2. And regardless, Trash Bros, with that clock running down to 0, they find themselves a 2nd round win in this control.
You play a 4v5 and you force the issue, so System pulls up and they're just saying, okay, play 2v1s whenever we find it. But just the awareness, right, to dip in and not get caught by an AR at top green. Decimate did all he could, but he gets caught. The patience once more from Trash Bros is keeping them alive in these games when things look so dicey. They win a 5v4, oh, I should say a 4v5, and now they're up 2-0. They're 1 round away from sweeping System and going to the grand final to face BBG.
And going into this next round, Trash Bros find themselves at map point, series point, as you said. So many players in this lobby have been performing well in this series. We got some standouts in the form of Yuli. Of course, we got to talk about Mach, one of the best in the league. On the opposite side, I think we've seen some stellar play coming out of Fellow and Decimate, but it just has not been enough. It's a well-rounded effort on the side of Trash Bros. Mach opening up with a double kill to find himself 5 kills in a row has got to be so demoralizing for the side of the system. They know that he's working towards those streaks, and he doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. Nearly double positive and making progress on the A point. The system, they're in deep trouble here right now.
Got a couple of ticks, but you need the kills to kind of flurry together. 13 and 14 for Zed. Dodges a nade, but still up here is Hollow, and Hollow's been so confident. That's 2 in a row on a 6 spree. He's getting close to streaks. You want to keep him alive. He's going to challenge, and guess what? Zinx is there. AR in hand, finds 2. One more contest. He gets him in top green. Diamatti, not able to find Mach, but Mach slides out, and that's all the damage done. Zed cleaning up the scraps, and welcome to the party. It's all shut down. The system holding on and doing a phenomenal job to keep themselves alive.
That's the defense you needed. Great surge of brilliance there coming from the side of the system, but we still have more game to be played. 30 seconds left in this round. Decimate positioning himself to stop the progress from the point where around lights, but you can see the pressure weighing down on him. So many players around the corner. He looks to reroute, still gets tagged up, caught out of position as 2 kills go in favor of Trash Bros. They continue to tick progress onto the A zone. Jintroid and Hollow in position. Not a whole lot going on at A. I meant to say B, as the players of the system are swarming it. And we see Mach met with 1 at top green. Jintroid on the point. He wins that every single time. And the last remaining 1 is not going to be enough as point B is secured and more time is added to the clock. Mach just keeps it going.
Open your Call of Duty textbooks. You lose the battle at A, but you win the war at B, and now you're in a position to close it out. Here comes streaks for the zone. Fellow gonna fly in, all 3 in front. Oh, they're just flying into the point. Ulysses and Mach combined for 2. 1 minute and 10 seconds, but guess what? It's gonna come down to kills. 16 to 11. A streak will come in. Hollow dropping everything down. Let it rain from above. It's working on to the second tick. Zinx flies in. Can he find 1? Yes. Will he find a second? No. More will fall. Everyone getting traded. Zed walks away victorious. They buy themselves some breathing room. And here come the numbers off spawn, but Fellow has to win the gunfighting top green. Don't worry. Zed has been shooting missiles, 18 and 17, 3 in a row, and they hold themselves on for another hold.
Wow, if you're the system, you are so happy that Zed likes to play around Satellite. He has been so important to them in this position every round so far in this control. Trash Bros had every reason to take over that point. They had score streaks, they had players flying into position just in time for them to hit the ground, and still, someone like Zed keeps his feet moving, finds himself in the right position, and stops them just before it's too late. 30 seconds up on the clock. 1 tick of progress left on Zone A.
Push.
Can Trash Bros get it?
All you need is 1 push. Fellow can't play spoiler. Here comes more. That's it. It's done. Go to the grand final. Congratulations. Nice job. 3-0 win. 3-0 win and 3-0 across the board. Trash Bros smoke everyone off the map. And system will not be going to the grand finals. That is it. 2 3-0s back-to-back in these semifinals. And what a chaotic and wonderful way to end that control. Fox. I told you, bro. I told you. I said it.
You
right
did.
Now. I said it.
You said it loud and clear.
I got it right. I said it. Oh, well, listen, Fox, talk to me about the end of that control, man. You talked about they invested streaks. Things didn't go well. All of a sudden, system walk away. Zed's alive. What happened? How did they lose that? Talk to me.
What we saw right there was Zed so comfortable in defense for the side of the system. He did what he needed to do, certainly contributed. It still wasn't enough. Even with missiles raining down from the sky, he was able to clear it out, but not stay alive long enough on his own. He needed a full wave of defense from the side of the system. And instead, those submachine gun players, especially Yuli, who was just playing in his own league the whole time, came through and finished the job.
I think we have replays from that map. If we do, I want to see him badly. I want to see him production. Let me see the replays because Ulysses was smoking. Hollows was just firing in all cylinders. And I'll tell you what, the defense was good from system. Zed was playing well. Zinx was playing well, but it wasn't enough. And that just means that we can't show you what happened, unfortunately. But guess what? It doesn't matter. Bracket coming through right now. We got grand finals coming up, and we got a bracket to break down. Trash Bros, Built by Gamers, the 2 best teams in the region right now. Trash Bros coming in at number 1 in the standings. Built by Gamers, number 2. They make their way to the grand grand finals of North America, and there is no other teams we would want to see in this heavyweight match for the title. We saw it in Europe. We saw it with Elevate and Orglis. Now we get the same thing in North America. The two best teams going head-to-head for 20K. Fox, look at this grand final, brother. Talk to me. We got 2 3-0s back-to-back. What are you expecting going into this one?
I'm really excited to see the conclusion of this one. We got, like I said earlier, Coach Faded, who is currently working for the side of Trash Bros. Of course, previously coaching the players that we're seeing on the side of on the side of Trash Bros. Excuse me. I think it's just going to be a really exciting matchup with some of the best players in the lobby in the league. We're seeing Built by Gamers in their first grand final. Now's the time for them to show it to us, right? So many top 4 finishes. Will they find the conclusion that they want?
We got Slayer powerhouses across the board, and more importantly, we got $20,000 to fight over. It's the grand finals for North America coming up right after this commercial break. It's time to crown a champion, baby. Guess what? You can see my chin. I can see you. Let's get into it. I'm excited. Built by Gamers, Trash Bros. Welcome back from the break. Hope you had a good one. I'm Spaceman. That is Fox, and this is a hell of a heavyweight fight. Brother, welcome into the broadcast. How you doing? And more importantly, are you ready for the grand finals?
I'm feeling good, baby. Grand finals time. Built by Gamers are making their first appearance at this stage in the tournament, and it is well deserved. So many top 4 finishes, just barely getting edged out every time. And now they find themselves going for that #1 spot. I mean, Space, I think that these guys are certainly positioned to do it. They've been building up to this moment all Cold War season long, and I think that this is a great moment for them when teams like Easter are out of the mix.
When Easter was out, there was probably a mass DM across every single channel on every social media saying, we can win now. There's a chance. And now, more importantly, there is an opportunity to crown a new champion for North America. And with that said, here come the maps, folks. Raid up first for Hardpoint, Miami S&D, Garrison Control, and Moscow to close things out. Again, I wonder about that Game 2 pick. Was that BBG saying we want to go to Miami? I have a feeling it was. But regardless, Raid to kick it off. And what better way to start the trek down to North America than to wonder who's going to take Game 1? Raid, Hardpoint. Oh, man, it's going to be good. Fox, talk to me about your thoughts going into the series.
Look, I'm seeing Built by Gamers all over this series. You pointed out the first thing that stood out to me, that was the Miami Search and Destroy. I'm just expecting someone like Pander to just roll through and does what he wants on the map. Kismet, constantly disruptive, getting behind enemy lines. Just so many opportunities for him in this series. And BBG, as you've seen, very successful in setting up those plays. So I think that we see Built by Gamers take this series. And I said it last time that I didn't expect a 3-0. I'm going to say it again. I think that we see them take a map. I don't think that we see Built by Gamers get the clean sweep.
No, absolutely not. I would not be surprised if this goes the distance, but let's refresh your memories with what's online, but more importantly, the kind of how this table sits. KD leader, Mach 1.22 KD. Hardpoint KD leader, Mach 1.22 as well. Control KD leader, Mach 1.28. Your respawns are going to be dictated by Mach, and if he has help from Hollow and Gentroid, this is going to be a dangerous series for BBG. But BBG are one of the smartest teams in North America, and the consistency reigns supreme once more. The continuity in their gameplay has translated from season to season, and the final roster change, bringing in Pander as that powerful AR in power positions, has paid off. We have a bunch of maps on this slate: Moscow, Garrison, and Raid, where you can absolutely turn the tables on this slay-heavy roster in Trash Bros, but it's going to come down to those games 2 and 3. If you can steal it, if you're Built by Gamers, you steal an S&D, or you find a way to take out a Control, that is going to be the key to victory for Built by Gamers. They need to win in Game 3 because you have one of the best control teams in Trash Bros. For Trash Bros, handle your business, let your subs flourish, trust one another. The patience pays off. Fox, we're almost ready to get this grand final started. I got to come to you with a prediction. Who you taking in the grand final?
Game 1, I think we see Built by Gamers take it. Game 2, I think we see Built by Gamers take it. I think from that point forward, it's really up in the air. I think Trash Bros will put up a great fight, and we're going to have a much more competitive series than what we've seen in our 2-3-0s so far today, Space.
I think they're the number 1-2 teams in the region for a reason, and I think they're the number 1 roster right now in North America with all is said and done. Trash Bros, I think they're taking it. I'm calling it 3-1. I think they're going to end up losing the S&D. They'll bounce back in the Control. They'll take the Hardpoint, but all is said and done. Let's get into the action itself. I want to know what you guys are thinking specifically in the YouTube chat. Let us know. Who are you taking in the series? What player are you looking out for? And I got to tell you, Built by Gamers, this is going to be your toughest matchup of the entire bracket.
Yeah.
Welcome to the end game. This is where you try to crown yourself champions and take home $20,000 and your share of a massive prize pool. But more importantly, Fox, we get to crown a new champion for the region for the first time in so long. This is going to be the first championship run for many of these players, and what a way to do it near the end of the Elite Series when you've grinded through with different rosters, grinded through with different game styles, and now you get to a point where you can put it all home. Dude, I'm excited. What are your thoughts?
I love seeing fresh faces at the end, right? Seeing fresh faces at the finish. Of course, we're familiar with them, seeing Built by Gamers compete throughout the Call of Duty Challenger series all season long. But to see them make it this far in the tournament is a new sight and an exciting one at that. Trash Bros as well, some players that have been competing in the Call of Duty Challenger Series, just seeing them come to the finish like this is exciting. And I mean, I love watching Jin Troid play. I have to say he's one of my favorites of the new of the up and coming players to watch, and players that we've seen perform so much in the Challenger Series. So seeing him alongside Trash Bros and doing as well as they are is just again exciting.
Yeah, looking at last series as well, our second semifinals match of the night. What System tried to do was fight fire with fire, and it didn't work. Trash Bros were too good. I wonder, obviously these players probably aren't watching VOD, and for GodRx and Pentagram, maybe they got a quick peek at what Trash Bros were able to do. But do they try to continue with that same aggression? Do they meet them head on the challenge, or do they try to get sneaky and slow the game down? We know that Built by Gamers is one of the best at slowing down the pace of games, and Kismet is thankful for that. And more importantly, we are thankful to get this match underway. Let's get into the grand final. It's Built by Gamers. It's Trash Bros. This is the Season 4 Elite Series Challengers Grand Final, and one of these teams will walk away with $20,000. It's time to crown a champion. Let's get started with Map 1.
That's right, the stage is set. Recent accolades from the side of BBG. They look to find their first championship ever. They placed top 2, second place at the number 3 Open for the Call of Duty Challenger Series, top 4 at the Elite Season 3 playoffs. All of this just in May alone for $13,000. And now they find themselves in this grand final, facing off against Trash Bros, and what is going to be their toughest matchup in the tournament.
And I believe we might be getting a slow pause here, but either way, we'll keep going. 3 more will fall. So far, so good. Built by Gamers, it was the Nace to start things off slowly that worked out in their favor. 2 more headshots in the kill feed, and an early break, early time, early hold. All there for BBG, Boys in Pink, working their best. And here are the observing crew that make all of this action possible. We could not be more thankful for the work that they put in and the amount of attention to detail they have. Thank you, boys, so much. Shane and John, you guys consistently put on the best show possible for challengers, and we would not be us without you. Once more, thank you to our observing team. But for Built by Gamers, they're thanking themselves for the early lead here, and Trash Bros just need to stop the bleeding.
Yes. 50-second lead, nearly a 50-second lead from the side of Built by Gamers here. A stellar start for them as they're moving over towards P2. Trash Bros find a good bit of time here to try and close that deficit as they're positioned well inside Kitchen. They do not have control of the pool side of the map, and they also don't have control of Laundry, so this could be a little bit shaky for them as Built by Gamers start to push through. However, the players in Kitchen are able to hold their own. Jin Troid, I mentioned him. He's a highlight player in this lobby for sure, as he started off 0 and 2, and now finding 3 in a row. He's able to get closer to knotting this game up.
They seem to be the best in the lobby in the last series. Ulysses finally finds his first kill, but the chaos ensues in the point, and the Diamatti is even better as Ulysses will clean up Pander. Now the lead back in favor of Trash Bros. They should be able to get it here with only 6 seconds needed, and they will finally grab it. There it will be. We look at the rotation now. Top side of your mini up all the way out. It's Hollow. He's working towards back Lambo, but Mach has to shut down that AR rotating into the gunfight. Mach is successful. Kismet sitting inside waits. A big gunfight will ensue. Can they get the break here? It comes down to Mach.
5 in a row. Jin Troid still has yet to die from that previous streak. A minute of kill time to his name as well, so he is in the mix. Just like that, all 4 of them fall flat. Built by Gamers with a quick defensive hold on this point, maintain their lead and start to extend it a bit further. Kismet decides to hold the same position inside Jim. We'll have to see how it plays out for him as he's used all of his utility, and Pentagram has fallen on stairs. Yuli also team killing and ends up making things a bit easier for the defensive team here. Kismet, keeping his feet moving, is able to find more shots into the back of the head of Mach. Jin Troid versus GodRx for the remaining time on the hard point, and GodRx wins it to get Built by Gamers more time in that lead, nearly doubling the score of Trash Bros by the time we rotate the basketball court.
Pander led the charge on the rotation out. It was a great hold on Lambo, but the next question mark really was, how do you rotate and make sure you don't get caught in the gunfights that transition down the sidelines? Now you have to work your way into the hill. Well, Pander was able to find one, got shut down, and now Gintron will be working towards the back of the steps, but split out for numbers. Built by Gamers looking for a retaliation currently through the middle of the map. Pander will open things up from Kitchen. GodRx will make it even sweeter with a double, and here comes Gintroid able to shut down one, but numbers are there, and the teammates are as well. The cleanup, the work, the assist, primary assists, all there for Mach. Gets quickly cleaned up, and a couple of dipping and diving challenges that lead way to 3 kills in the kill feed. Built by Gamers trying to break their way in with brute force, but guess what? The last alive inside is Gintroid. He's fighting for his life. He did enough, and the spawns are there for Trash Bros. They can break in now.
Jintroid is a warrior. He is always the raid boss that needs to be taken down if Built by Gamers want to take over the point. But as we've seen, Built by Gamers, when they find that defense, when they plant their feet inside the objective, they are hard to beat. And so far on this map, that's been the story. Kismet lurking around kitchen, not quite in the mix, but still distracting a player around money room before his teammates are able to pick that one up. The defensive hold is successful as the scrap time does go over to Built by Gamers. Leading by 50 seconds, we now move to middle map, and we see several players inside of Trash Bros, sat around pillars, sat around art. They're able to keep the pressure up on middle map up until the closing moments of GodRx clearing them out.
Shots rang out, but a 40-point lead continues. Built by Gamers in a very favorable position right now, midway through this hard point, this game one. GodRx on your screen was able to find another and consistently putting up 2-3 pieces on the board. Jintroid now getting involved in the hill, but numbers collapse. Built by Gamers have pressure in the hill, and they fall back with reinforcements. Ulysses needs to kick things into a different gear at 6-14. He's been relatively quiet, and so has Locke at 7-12, but Panda work on the opposite sidelines, finds a gunfight in outskirts. He will walk away with victorious, and Ulysses puts one more in the dirt. But so far, Trash Bros having a decent chunk of time they've been able to lock down. There's 3 dead, and now the numbers start to kick in up, and we're just looking for a little bit more of consistency in the hill. It seems that whenever Trash Bros get the break, they get cleaned up quickly like this, and Kismet works his way in with 2, and every time they work overtime for that hill, they just always get it broken, and Kismet is lighting things up.
It's so scary how the submachine gun is able to play defensively on circle and aiming towards top stairs at AR players. We saw Jintroid was able to defend it so well, and it took Kismet to come up through middle map with the submachine gun here to take him down. Now, moving on with his 5 streak, we see the side of Built by Gamers with the initial time and extending that lead even further. Kismet still, like I said, just kind of lurking, roaming around the map, doing as he pleases. It seems to be working out well for Built by Gamers. Unfortunately for them, the hill has flipped over in favor of Trash Bros with a 16-kill Hollow sat inside the objective.
He was trusting his teammates to pick up the subsequent fights. They were there and successful in that attempt, but so far, Hollow able to clean up with 2. Ulysses comes in. We'll find Kismet, Hollow, and Ulysses need to start picking up a little bit. Hollow's been carrying the load, but Ulysses double negative. Need him to get going. He is such a factor when it comes to blowing open the game and kind of operating your game plan through mid-map, cutting down rotations, and winning those transitional fights. Now a bull rush into kitchen, early setup, ready and waiting. Built by Gamers will meet this front push. Here comes Jintroid through the front. Shots ring out, tags are there. Dipping and diving, one more in money. He'll win the beat down. Still alive somehow. Diamatti picks up 1, picks up both. Jintroid gets all 4, 21 and 11. Reloads in time, but here comes the challenge. It doesn't matter, damage is done, but they don't have hill control, and all is for naught.
Best short-range game in the lobby is Jintroid. That AK-74 UN Diamatti has been hot today. His presence certainly felt for Trash Bros. They have to be so thankful for having him in this lobby here, as we're still waiting for Yuli to come online. Double negative, moving into the kitchen. Jintroid finds 3 again. What can he not do? Double positive on a 3 streak. 2 minutes of hill time. We're seeing the initial time in Garage might go to Built by Gamers because of GodRx being in position alongside Kismet. We'll have to see what Trash Bros does on this first push.
And Built by Gamers are going to stack this hill, so you need Jintroid to lead the charge and everyone else to help out. Last time, Built by Gamers got a full 60 here. They were uncontested, and GodRx is shooting like that. It's going to be that much harder. 180 to 67. You continue this one on. It's only about a 20-point game, but it's getting out of hand. Here come the rest of the numbers from Trash Bros, but behind Pander, that AR, he can shut everything down and play spoiler. The hopes and dreams lies on Ulysses, and he will win the gunfight. Finally, they can breathe a sigh of relief, but here comes Pentagram hunting and circling, trying to find this kill, and Ulysses turns and burns. They might have bought themselves enough time. They can worry about the rotation in the next 10 seconds, but for now, they need to hold on for one more push. Built by Gamers putting a lot of resources on this break. They're unsuccessful. Jintroid in front once more. That lead blocker picking up everyone in his sights.
Jintroid tagged up, unable to win that gunfight there, as Kismet is going to finish him off. Scrap time does go to Trash Bros as the remaining players will be moving out towards the basketball court. All 4 players on the side of Built by Gamers in position, surrounding kitchen, or set up in the basketball court as well. So now it's going to be a tall order for this 3 versus 4 push, as we're still waiting for Hollow to come up from that scrap time. Score streaks are coming in. That should open things up very nice for Built by Gamers and make this a bit more comfortable of a defensive hold, as we see 2 kills as well. Kismet's able to open it up for that.
Kismet was just looking for info. He pings and finds nothing at mid-map, but knows that they might be pushing back around Spiral. So far, successful team trades are there. Built by Gamers once more on the early break, and their team holds have been almost perfection outside of Lambo. They've done their job, and they've done it well. 28 seconds to go. You can't win it here. You win it on the next one, but you need a break for Trash Bros. It's getting out of hand. That's the problem. They lose the rotational fight, and then they take too long to get a full team hit. Now they're getting picked apart, and Pentagram's just playing with his food. Hold that. It won't go down. There's a trophy in front. More nades won't go out. Stuns won't connect. Hollow with 2. The gunfights in Kitchen go the way of Godorex. He slows it down on a 4 spree. This one might be done. It looks like the pressure and the momentum has shifted back to BBG. They just got to get back to Courtyard, and they can take game 1.
Even if Built by Gamers ends up losing a hill here as they try to close out the map, Kismet still has score streaks. You hear him falling down from the sky right now. Got RX on a 5 streak, but it might not matter with the pressure that Built by Gamers has been able to put on the objective. Still, though, the initial time does go to Trash Bros. Bit of a response here as they're able to hop under the hard point. Mach and Hollow lighten up the kill feed. Panda in a position with the AR you don't want him to be at. Hollow shuts that one down, and you needed to. That was a very timely kill as he's able to turn the hill over and find his team some time here. Yuli gives him a little bit of area to move around through here, right? To give him a bit more defense in the objective.
How different would this game 1 be if Ulysses and Mach weren't combining for like 27 and 54? It has not been good. And well, you got plenty of time. You just need one break, one hold. You can win this game, but 8 seconds to go. We got to look the rotation back to our 3rd set of hills on P1. Kismet has held on to these streaks all the time, and that means Hollow has nowhere to run through the gap. He's going to get cut down, but guess what? Mach on the other side wins a big gunfight, wins 2. This is a chance. You got 240 to 240. One final push for BBG. It's a backpack for Jintroid, and it's big enough to put everyone in. They're gonna get game 1 unless a break comes through. Everyone dies, and thank Jintroid for that. They get game 1, 250 to 240. Mach with a clutch 2-piece. No business winning this raid hardpoint, but they do it anyway.
Jintroid pulled his teammates through that map all the way to the end to force the comeback. What an awesome show of resilience from him. So many multi-kills, not just double kills, triple kills, as he continues his streak, moving from hill to hill. Even with players like Kismet keeping up the pace of engagements throughout that map, it still wasn't enough to dump water on the fire that was Jintroid. Awesome showing from Trash Bros in the final minute, and really, like you said, they have Jintroid to thank.
The last 2 members of BBG were pushing through top laundry. Mach is sitting on the outside left of the hill. He picks up both those kills, so immediately they spawn back up with their teammates at driveway. They have to make the rotation, not only win pressure through Courtyard, but win pressure through Zig, win pressure going up the driveway to the bus. They can't even get to Spiral. It was all because of Mach's 2-piece that opened up the ability for those spawns to be out. They get lucky with the break, and they hold on because Jintroid was stepping up into a different dimension to close out this game. Again, how different would map 1 have been if not only had Mach done better, not going triple negative, but had Ulysses been able to contribute more than just 16 kills? It seemed like everything was going wrong. Built by Gamers had a chance to close it out. They needed 1 break on Courtyard, 1 break on Spiral to close out this game. But Jintroid went absolute demon time in this kitchen hardpoint, found himself a 7-piece, continued to shut down BBG, keep them in the game, and Trash Bros rallied that into a solid Lambo hill, into a solid rotation, a decent contested basketball. But when we got back to Spiral, that is where everything came to a head, and Mach got his biggest 2 kills of the entire game. That was about as close as you could possibly ask for a game 1. And for Built by Gamers, you're just banging your head against a wall. I mean, not because you're frustrated with yourself, but because you're disappointed with how close that game was, how it shouldn't have been, and how you had a chance to end it. And the fact that they didn't tells you not only the patience and resilience of the Trash Bros roster, but again, how would this be different if Ulysses and Mach had not gone triple negative and combined like 26 for 60? This would have been a very, very different game 1, Fox.
I mean, we saw Jintroid from start to finish in that map was creating so much space for his team. He was holding down the objective and was able to defend himself on his own to maintain hill time for his roster, but no one was following up his play. And then what we saw in the last maybe 2 minutes of gameplay was Ulysses was able to capitalize. Jintroid just kept doing what he was doing all map long and ended up being the winning formula to put them over the edge at the end of that map there. Still, though, it's going to be a difficult rest of the series here. We can go ahead and take a look at the rest of what we have upcoming. Game number 1, of course, concluding on Raid Hardpoint as they move over to Florida, Miami, Florida, right on the beach there for Search and Destroy. Trash Bros come up 1-0 off of a really chaotic conclusion of that Hardpoint.
Yeah, and you go into a map mode combo where you can't just rush your subs into sites often. You're going to have to work at that AR battle at mid-map, especially towards the beachfront. This is a map that should favor BBG by a wide margin. If you're going to hedge your bets, put it on BBG. There is no reason they shouldn't be able to tie up this series, given the talents you have, not only with Kismet working different angles and creating problems for the offense, but what Pentagram and Pander and GodRx bring, especially GodRx and Pander as an AR duo. They can lock down mid-map on Miami. Let's get into game 2. Let's find out who takes the series lead, even more, or who ties it up. Fox, going into this, you think BBG got it?
I'm going to stick with BBG for this game too. I definitely thought they would take game 1. They had the lead for most of the map. Could not quite finish the job, but I think in Search and Destroy, we see them bounce right back and tie this up 1-1. Trash Bros, though, they're no joke. Jintroid came to play once again, and we see the results of this man's stellar performances.
Now, if he's playing like this in the grand final, he's easily your MVP, without question. But Ulysses and Mock need to have a better start to this series. As Pentagram works his way towards the back alley, your bomb carrier Pander, Jintroid should get an easy first blood, and he reads Kismet's route perfectly. That closes down the options for Built by Gamers. What a read from Trash Bros.
And see, now you done gave Jintroid an AR and a submachine gun to work with here. Man advantage on the side of Trash Bros. Built by Gamers, down by 1, and they're on offense, so it's going to be so difficult for GodRx and Pentagram to cover Pander there. The first blood, though, looking to even things up as GodRx pulls the head off of Mock. Heading into the B-bomb site, we see Jintroid winning another gunfight, still holding his ground on B. No one has been able to get past him just yet. Oh, catches GodRx. Instant trade. Pander with the AR, always there to support the squad. And now it's Yuli in a sticky situation with the Semtex behind him. Players slipping around the corner. Let's see what they do in Garage, looking through the eyes of Pander in his 1 versus 2 with 15 seconds left on the clock.
This should have been an easy round win for Trash Bros, but Pander has to plant. You got to know that if you're Trash. Not the sentence you want to hear, but Trash Bros abbreviation. Y'all get it. Bomb going down on B. You got one more over at A. Jintroid doesn't need it. Ulysses comes in for the cleanup. They'll get the defuse. And an interesting end to that round 1. Again, Trash Bros had a chance to kind of put the pedal down and really close it out early. They got a little bit hesitant. Hollow wasn't able to pick up both, but did enough to scout out. You get the first round on the board. And Trash Bros playing patiently enough. They catch Kismet, and that opened up the round.
And again, you got to be happy to have Jintroid in the call if you're Trash Bros. His defensive positioning on that site is a huge reason as to why they saw so much success in the first minute of that round. Early on in this S&D, of course, we predicted Built by Gamers to take this Search and Destroy, but Trash Bros will bring it to him, especially if the sub of Jintroid remains to be so hot. So kicking things off, they decided to have Jintroid be the bomb carrier. All 4 players committed towards the B-bomb site. They're going to have 1 on the flank. That'll be Hollow, number 7. The rest of them, they're working piano. That piano and balcony control, oh so important for this objective. Semtex comes out just to create space for Yuli to push up a little bit more. He sees no one down the hallway and the alleyway. But the action is unfolding in the garage as Jintroid locks onto someone on site. That's Kismet.
That flush from Ulysses puts Kismet in a bad spot, but not bad enough to be able to take one with him as he goes down. Will he drop, though? Trophy down. Jintroid playing his life so perfectly. Pander will spot, and the peek doesn't work out. It was a dry peek from Jintroid, and he gets caught. GodRx going to try to escape, as well as Kismet, but he finds one on his rotation out. Hollow should have just been watching the site. Here comes Ulysses. 3v2. Built by Gamers have advantages, both lines of sight and numbers now easily cleaning up the scraps. 3v1. Mock last alive, bomb down. Pander has not left this position, and he won't. And he'll tie it up.
Yeah, and you saw right there the remnants of the push from the side of Trash Bros. It was a Mock left alone as he watched Jintroid die right in front of him. Peeking into the crossfire of Pander and Kismet. Very troublesome when Pander has an AR in his hands. I really got to admire the way that the Built by Gamers played that. They played it patiently and were rewarded for it to find their first round win in this S&D.
I love the decision from Kismet, right? Like, you're kind of turtled in that corner, so your options are A, try to find someone and die quickly, or B, stay there, wait for Pander to sit in his position, try to find the opening kill, and then chaos ensues. You probably win that gunfight. You at least get one for the trade, and then you're playing a 3v2. Kismet played his life perfectly, didn't get aggressive, learned his lesson from round 1, Same situation here. The bomb carrier is Kismet. Pander, shots ring out, but Mock responds with a couple. And now you have a split for both teams, Fox.
Yeah, in our first attempt at the A bomb site, we are seeing a 2-2 split. They decide now to send GodRx over closer towards the site. They'll be able to outnumber the 2 players on site, 7 and 8 Hollow and Mock, if they're able to execute and take it just like that. First blood does come down in favor of Built by Gamers by Pentagram onto the B bomb site. He's able to get out with his life. Looking for another gun engagement though. Jintroid catches him. And with Jintroid on B, maybe we see Built by Gamers prioritize this A site and just take it. You got the man advantage. You got the raid boss on the other side of the map. Maybe it's time to put your foot on the gas right now. Mock getting caught out of position. No, he drops prone, is able to gun Kismet in his ankles. Headshot from Hollow as well. That's 2 kills for the side of Trash Bros on the defensive site, on the defensive positioning on the B site. Bombs down as well. GodRx is left in a 1 versus 3. He's tagged up, locked on, and finished off. Trash Bros finds their second round win.
You saw it perfectly and called it perfectly, Fox. I mean, when you know Jintroid is over at B, that's when you need to call, okay, we're pushing the fight to A. This is the time, because as long as he's distracted or waiting to make the long rotation, you have a chance just to win the fight straight up and put the bomb down. Only problem is it took a little too long. You got out of position. You didn't know exactly where Trash Bros was. Duh, you couldn't really. And then Mock is in a good position to pick up a kill. That closes things down, and Jintroid rotates in on the play. Easy time, like easy pickings. It's as simple as that. Trash Bros doing a great job of, again, staying patient on the play and trusting your teammates. Jintroid, 4 and 1. Playing so effectively, but another first blood for Built by Gamers. How did Trash Bros respond? Well, Kismet's working all the way through the back.
Pentagram with two first bloods in a row should translate and typically translate into a round victory here. Keep in mind, we do have Jintroid, the bomb carrier, who's been a major threat in this series so far. Expect to see more of the same from him in the Search and Destroy. I think he seems to be very comfortable with not just this team, but also his individual performance tonight on the balcony. Yuli is able to catch one off guard, firing into the side of Pender, who was in a commanding position. And now with him being taken out, that opens up more opportunities for the side of Trash Bros with balcony control going either way.
You're right. Ulysses has to win that gunfight against Kismet. That should open up the top control, but one more falls from Kismet. 3v2 bomb down. The retake from Built by Gamers has to be so tight, but it can work. And Kismet gets Ulysses. That should do it. Mock in the back. Tagged up, spotted, nowhere to run. What do? Can't run anywhere. They'll get the defuse. Well done by BBG on the retake.
Yeah, that's right. I think you got to be really happy with what you saw from BBG right there. I thought that I think that those players dying so quickly after the objective was planted, maybe they didn't have the site as secure as they thought. There wasn't a whole lot of support and follow-up from it. And so now Built by Gamers are going to find themselves knotting up the game at 2-2.
And it really came down to Kismet versus Ulysses on the stairs. You get balcony control as a defense with post-plant positioning, or I should say as offense with the defensive setup on the post-plant positioning, you're fine. If Ulysses wins that gunfight, you win the round. But because Kismet walks away victorious, it closes out the lines of sight not only on bomb, but where you can push up effectively and try to get a trade. And not only that, but you don't have numbers anymore. Well done by BBG. Kismet, again, coming up big. It's small gunfights like that don't show up on the stat sheet that really sway the round.
Pentagram moving so freely through the map right here. He looks like he's going to be rewarded with a flank. I don't think anyone caught on to it. He slipped the net. So if they're able to play around him, of course, they can't see what we see. They don't know just how effective this flank could be. That could be a really explosive offensive round for Built by Gamers coming up here soon. Shoot by the balcony. Hollow's still going to get the gunfight on the Kismet, though. He stays alive and is able to get out with his life. And now it's going to be Jintroid as well finding a kill. No one from Built by Gamers has been able to respond just yet, Space. And Yuli looks like he's got one in his sights as well.
He's got to be careful. He knows where GodRx is, but we don't know what weapon he's working with. You don't want to take that fight. You will get beamed. Still trying to see what's what. It's a pretty useless tautology, but mind the gap. Pandor going to jump out, and Jintroid on the opposite end will be working through the back alley. He might catch Mock, but this has just been all about COD timing. Mock finds GodRx 1v4. Pandor, your work is cut out for you. You'll get one. Get the bomb down.
Not a whole lot of time to work with, not a whole lot of real estate either, as you see the 3 arrows swarming in. Panda puts the bomb down, and it's time to go to work. He finds 3 kills, not enough time on the clock. They run it down to 0, and Trash Bros is going to get the round win.
You know, if you're shooting like that, it makes me wonder, if you put bomb down and get lucky enough to escape, could you just 1v4? Probably. But instead, not enough time. Goes for the gunfights. Goodbye.
And definitely an interesting call here, but still good to see Panda shooting like that, I gotta say.
I'd be scared right now. Yeah, if I was Trash Bros, I'd be frightened right now. He's 6-3, Fox. Like, he's on 3 spree. Not super close to streaks, but you give him 2 more kills, we'll start talking about that. Kismet at 3-4, and I feel like Kismet's, 3 kills have come at the most opportune time. There's a nice overhead view. Thank you. Our producers and observing team, thank you for always giving us the best that we can look at. It's a 2-1-1 as Trash Bros splitting the resources appropriately, but giving up a lot of mid-map control. 50-yard line pushed up now thanks to where Ulysses is playing. A 2-stack currently from BBG on B, so it looks like A will be the call. Comes out to a first blood if they get beach control, great. Everything else just falls by where it may.
And so, of course, Trash Bros playing so far back. We have not seen either team really prioritize playing out on top of the boat in the water just yet. And now we're seeing our first player step up to the plate. That's going to be Mock. No one is home. But close to the site is player number 4, GodRx, who has a stellar angle from this window onto the site. No one close to the action, though, so the bomb should be able to get planted here with very little opposition. A trophy system should be all that they need. Black Jacket's going to save them from the Semtex. Bomb's going to go down regardless with 25 seconds left on the clock. Of course, bringing that up to an even 45 now. And they have a great setup on the beach. It's going to be built by Gamers for the 4 versus 3 retake.
And I was wondering, when shots were ringing out from GodRx over towards the boat, why they didn't call for Pentagram to go up and challenge the site in case he finds someone pushing up for the plant. GodRx working through the back. If he gets Mock, it's big, but here comes the flank from Hollow. He's got to be quick. He's got to be quick. He gets GodRx. There it goes. Now 2v2. Hollow in a great position. Kismet running on the beach. Mock in a challenge. What a retake. What a play. And the communication must be on fire. 4-2. Trash Bros survived the beachfront, all thanks to Hollow.
Stellar defense, and you see right here how it all played out. Hollow putting some shots in their back. Panda at a distance, caught off guard, was not ready for that engagement to unfold, and that ended up being the thorn in their side that closed out the round as Trash Bros doubled the score built by Gamers.
And it seems like this game has been much closer than the scoreline currently, Fox. Like, I feel like this should be tied up, or this should be 4-3 in favor of BBG. They've had positioning, but regardless of how well Kismet has played and the shots that Pander's putting on, a lot of it was stat padding. But he got 3 kills when it was a 1v4. But there comes another flank from Jintroid. Pentagram shut down. Panda finds 1. Numbers fall. Advantage BBG. Hollow, be careful about this challenge. You will get gunned. What do you do
going down on middle map? It is all about the Krieg gameplay right now. You see Hollow. Oh, winning the war against Panda, putting one between the eyes, taking him out. That's a big headshot, and probably one of the most important players to get off of the map in that position. Mock finds GodRx as well, and now it's all up to Kismet in a 1 versus 2. He's got the bomb. What's he going to do with it?
You don't peek. There is no reason to peek. I know Hollow's thinking about just trying to figure out if Kismet's up here, but there is 0 reason to peek. You either wait for bomb to go out. No, stop it, Fox. You wait for bomb to go down, or you wait for info. There it will be. Hollow can't win the gunfight 1v1. Kismet has both weapons to work with. This is huge.
Mock, he's going to check that site. He's going to check the site. No, he doesn't check the site. The bomb will go down. Will he get caught just off of it? Kismet finds him, catches him from underneath, the timing playing out oh so beautifully as he slips underneath the line of sight of the defensive player, and built by Gamers, they're able to find themselves a 3rd round win. Kismet touching the 1v2.
That is the biggest round for Kismet. 2 kills, again, at the most pivotal of times. From a 5-2 deficit to now a 4-3 chance. You have saved Built by Gamers' hopes in this game. Heroics from Hollow were really 4-0 as Kismet won the gunfight at mid-map 7-5. Again, the star right now, Pander has had beams, sure, but Kismet has been so clutch. Jintroid thinking, I guess, twice about the push to B. Maybe the call was, hey, we're going to B this time, not A. So please right back. I think Hollow might have spotted at least one over on A. So at least you have that going for you. But he's a little too worried about this flank. They need to be worried about how they get this opening first blood.
They're going to be met with a wall of Built by Gamers players here. They got the alleyway on lock. Working through the garage. Turn the corner into the line of sight of Pentagram, who's able to pepper him with some shots. Semtex connects with nothing, but it's the message that counts. First blood. Yuli falls. Built by Gamers are still able to maintain the same defensive positioning. They've been given no reason to move. Jintroid turns that corner cold and knocks him out. Haymaker of a headshot right there, and he does it again. 2 for 2 in engagement so far this round, and they're committing to it. They're sticking to this B bomb site. One more sad victim around the corner. Kismet caught up, tagged up, not taken down though, as Jintroid is finished off. Is shot in the back by GodRx.
That's a beautiful bait. That is a perfect bait through the back alley. Mock 1v2. He's gonna get pushed. Kismet's just pushing it. Oh, he's going right inside. And Built by Gamers will get it done. Tied up 4-4. Ran out of time. And Ulysses was playing on the bottom truck at the start of this round. He gets caught under the wheels. And sure, you got numbers here, but Jintroid opens it up with 2 kills. The fact that you had one watching the alleyway and one watching the cut is great, but I don't think Mock was expecting that quick push after the bait. And Kismet, again, just playing patiently around the corner. Gets enough time for a teammate to come in for the challenge. It was a standard bait, and it works out. Built by Gamers. We're down 4-2. Tie it up.
Pander, your bomb carrier for the side of Built by Gamers here, is going to be the first to approach 10 kills for his team, it seems. Jintroid on the opposite side, tied up with him at 9. Tied up in the game as well, 4-4, as Kismet takes a very forward position onto the balcony here. Kind of jiggle peeking, looking for anyone in the alleyway that might catch him with the Krieg. Directly underneath him is the danger. We're looking through the eyes of Yuli, the player he's got to worry about next if he wants to get on site here. Jintroid tagged up with the flak jacket as well. Kismet does not check the corner. He still gets out with his life. Pander and company inside the garage are there for the support and follow up. And we see the kills go in favor of Built by Gamers as they lead 3-2. Bomb in the hand of Pentagram on his 2 streak. They might be committing to this B bomb site. The 2 remaining players attacking them from both sides is a problem. But GodRx cuts it in half just like that, and Built by Gamers find themselves at map point 5-4.
Trash Bros are getting outplayed. Ulysses has been in the same spot 2 rounds in a row. It hasn't worked. No idea why he's down here. Yeah, you want him to get first blood, and you trust his gunny, but he has not been in a good position both rounds. He gets caught. Numbers aren't here. Then you have to go for a retake through mid-map, and you got to worry about, Kismet being out there, cutting down players, rotating in.
Pentagram handled them that round.
He did, and Trash Bros have just been getting outplayed. I mean, straight up. It was the Kismet 1v2 that started this, and ever since, the snowball has gained momentum. You had this entire game, and Built by Gamers have just outthought you simply. And it's not like they're working overtime to create these advantages. They're just playing around you better, and they're catching Ulysses out of position. 3-8, a rough hard point, a very rough S&D. You got to get him more involved, and you can't put him out in position like that.
That's right. The question is, does Built by Gamers keep the ball rolling and close it out here on map point, or does Trash Bros force the round 11 and then hopefully bring themselves to a 2-0 lead in the series? We're taking a look at a team that has been led by Jintroid in every facet that you could imagine in this series so far. 10 kills to his name as we get into the 10th round of this game. And it looks like the offensive pressure from the side of Trash Bros is on the beach side, the beach front. We're working our way through the A side of the A site. However, the player on the boat, GodRx, is keeping them at bay. They cannot get past him. The crossfire set up with him and Kismet. Crucial.
If you're going to hit a long rotation, you need to go as a full 4-man roster. You can't afford to hit this 3 at a time. So far, you're not confident enough to win the gunfights individually. Kismet going to get crossed. He should. Shots there from Hollow. But you still have 2 members out. You still have 2 members out. Ulysses pushing up, so thank God Mock hits his shots. Bomb will go down. So far, so good. A dangerous situation. Ulysses got to be careful. Need help. There's the Guardian Angel. Bomb goes down 4v1. And they say, shut up, spaceman. We hit our shots. They should be able to take this. There will be. Here we go. Round 11.
Woo! Woo! Round 11, Trash Bros finally stopping this massive wave of momentum that came from Built by Gamers off the back of that 1v2 from Kismet. We've seen them really start firing on all cylinders, I think. But now we're seeing Trash Bros start to cool it off a little bit and try and see if they can close it out in this round 11. No more mistakes, Space. For map number 2, this is it.
I wasn't confident in that play moving up to the site because, again, I'm worried about the team trades for Trash Bros, but they handle their individual gunfights. They get it done. They don't get crossed through mid. They let Kismet make that mistake. Now we got a round 11. This is huge. Trash Bros could go up 2-0 in this grand final. Built by Gamers looking to tie it up. It's going to be a 4-man hit all the way to B. And right up the gut. Here comes Pentagram. Gets first blood. Gets traded out 3v3.
Yuli, weakest player on the side of Trash Bros, is able to take down Pentagram, and there's no trade that comes.
Why is Mock playing so far out? He's in visitors. He needs to move.
Mock way far out of the action on the A site, as we see the remaining 5 players in the lobby all sat around the B site. Still in control of Trash Bros, of course. Players 5 and 6, Jin, Short, and Yuli are comfortable right now. But Built by Gamers have just been given so much space to work with. You see GodRx looking for a line of sight, looking for the perfect angle on middle map, maybe trying to catch Mock on the rotation as everything is unfolding on the site here. But Built by Gamers, they give up Garage, and they are working back towards their spawn, or at least through middle map here. I think they might be committing to the A site, but Kismet, still alone inside Piano, is able to shut down Yuli. Pander with the follow-up. That's 2 kills. Last alive is Mock. It's a 1 versus 2. Pander's putting the bomb down, and he's not in range to stop it.
Mock can do this. He's got to get Kismet, though. That's the big kill. Oh, Kismet tagged. 38 seconds. This is doable, but you can't waste much time. Questionable decisions with the positions of those subs. When the bomb went down, they get caught, and they're all playing back towards water steps. You got to move. You got to move quickly if you're Mock. You cannot waste time rotating. 20 seconds to go.
Lethal, tactical, trophy system. None of it matters with how much time is left on the clock, though.
He wasted too much time. That's it.
Built by Gamers takes the round. We saw him turn the corner, fire that one shot, and then just kind of just hesitate, right? Like he just kind of teetered out. There wasn't really much hustle left in him after that moment.
I mean, you don't know where anyone else from BBG is, yes, and it is a 1v2, and you have to understand that situation, yes. But when it's a 1v2 round 11, you can't afford to wrap up through back alley, peek once, you put shots into Kismet, then you fall off, you hit the mid-street rotation, you go to Piano, you work up there, don't see anything, you work all the way back to water steps, don't see anything, then you see someone. It took way too long for that rotation to come through, and that's not on his shoulders. That round 11 is not on his shoulders, but it didn't help anything, and because of it, the hesitancy didn't pay off. Trash Bros had a chance to take this S&D. They were up 4-2. They lose it in the end thanks to Built by Gamers' heroics, but more importantly, the poise, the confidence, the patience. Kismet sets it up here with a 1v2. They take their time, and in the end, those 2 subs playing in the top of the steps, they get absolutely baited in the bottom of the garage. Built by Gamers take advantage. They get both kills thanks to working towards top Piano. And after that, it was all she wrote. I mean, they just completely outthought Trash Bros in situations that shouldn't exist. And you look at this game too, Fox, that could come back to bite Trash Bros in the end. This is one they probably should have won.
I'm seeing on the side of Trash Bros, Jintroid is doing a whole lot of the work, and I think that they would benefit from some of that burden being taken off of him, right? I mean, we're seeing him in these impossible to win moments, still finding a way to come out on top, and there just doesn't seem to be enough follow-up from the rest of his team, whether it's in the hard point or in search and destroy. So if they have any hope of coming out on top in this grand final here, you need to see players like Yuli come online for the side of Trash Bros. Coming into round 11, he had 3 kills to
yeah, you definitely need more, and we don't need to harp on Ulysses, but the problem is that we know how electric he is, we know how good he is, and his lack of presence is sorely missed right now. You can definitely tell that not having Yuli on the same page, not having Mock or Hollow always on the same page, and Jintroid trying to carry the load. Hollow had a great couple of rounds, but after that, you need more to get through this grand final. You can't rely on just 1 or 2 players. You need everyone to do their part. And with as slow as that S&D was, Built by Gamers got everyone involved constantly all the time on each play, and it paid off, Fox. They got everyone on the same page. They take it in round 11, as close as it may be. And they got to be breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief because this could have been a very quick 2-0 deficit.
And it's so interesting. What we saw in Hardpoint was Built by Gamers having a commanding lead for a good percentage of the map. And then in the closing few minutes, they come out on top, edging out for the victory in the end, 250 to 240. Moving over to Miami Search and Destroy, Built by Gamers has a little bit of the same. We're staying in the USA as we head over to Garrison before our final 2 trips to Moscow, if we make it that far in the series. But Garrison control as we're tied up 1-1 in the series. Space, do you have any thoughts about what we've seen from Built by Gamers in the control game mode this season?
Yeah, their presence in the chaos is unmatched. I mean, their team trading is huge. They're one of the best teams in North America when it comes to successfully trading together consistently and not walking away from gunfights without getting numbers on the board, right? We're talking 2-3 kills at a time, which helps dwindle the odds. But when it comes to retakes, they're also very good at that. Yes, they can get broken easily, but with Pander in power positions, with Kismet winning big clutch pieces like, 2 pieces, 3 pieces, especially moving to top green, expect Pentagram to be in top green often. But Godorex and Pander, this is their map they're going to eat on. Kismet's going to be electric. We also look at a very good control team for Trash Bros. I mean, you look across the board, you got the best control KD and Mock at a 1.28. He needs to step it up. I've talked a lot about him going into this grand final. Jintroid really has been the front runner for the MVP if they're able to walk away. Mock needs to step it up. He needs to be that regular season 1.28 KD that we expect. But Godorex top green works with Pander. They get 3 dead. It's a good start for BBG.
Coach Faded at home for Trash Bros. Coach Ronan at home for Built by Gamers. Watching both their teams find a map in this series and looking for the completion, looking for that 3 map count victory for a grand finals victory in the championship. They're looking to see their team find this match through to its conclusion as Hollow opens up with a double kill on the point. He's going to find a little bit of tick progress. We'll have to see how the team supports.
And this is where the veteranship from Built by Gamers can really favor the odds. You put them in a situation where they needed a desperate big win. They get it. And now that weight is off their shoulders. They can focus on just trying to go 1-0 in every single game type, close it out where they can. And they're in a very good position to take a serious lead. And from there, just steamroll the rest of the way. The veteranship they have is second to none. For Trash Bros, slow the game down. Let Ulysses get comfortable. Let Hollow and Mock feed off one another. The energy has to be there on the comms. 44 seconds to go. 23 tied up with keys. Pentagram working with the back. Spots Ulysses in light. Here comes Panda with the challenge, but Ulysses wins the big gunfight, finally contributing on the board. And they're going to get some more tick progress onto B. Kismet now trying to work his way in. Will he find anything?
Really good on Trash Bros to shut down that flank from Pentagram before it got too damaging. I mean, he started off the game with 5 kills, more than anyone in the lobby. I definitely think he was in a great position to find at least 1 kill on lights right there. But of course, we see the point captured. We see Built by Gamers now trying to set up their defense in the back spawn to prevent the flank coming through from Julie, who wins that crucial gun engagement. Tagged up and finished off. Great communication. Stop that one there as the defense continues its pressure on the point. Oof. But we see the Trash Bros, they're able to clear out all of Built by Gamers and continue their objective progress on Zone A.
And Ulysses spawns out of the main floor. Now he has a big couple of gunfights he needs to get himself engaged with. As Godorex will help with Pentagram. They try to go for the pinch, but top green control there from the steps. Ulysses and Mock working together. They clear out the hill, and they clear out the point. They get round 1, and that is what this team does so well. When it comes to chaos on the point with team trades needed, this is one of the best teams in North America at it. Mock, perfect from his position, finds 1, finds 2. Kismet slides in, nowhere to go. And Ulysses is so good at the top of green. They do a great job of isolating gunfights together, and the communication is clearly there. We talked about team trades needed for Built by Gamers. Trash Bros give it right back. They take round 1.
Giving it right back, definitely dishing it to him. We see Yuli and Mock at the top of the kill feed by a small margin for the side of Trash Bros. On the opposite side, Pander only able to find 1 kill so far. He's someone that, for Built by Gamers, when he's online, when he's in position, he's hard to beat. First blood in this wave of engagement does go down to Yuli, though, as we get off to the start in this control round. A little bit or no progress made so far, but Pander looking to make a difference here as he will be met by some opposition just ahead of him and behind him. One slips the net. That's Jintroid, probably the worst one you want behind you, and he's able to find a kill and get out with his life. No one stopped him just yet. Pentagram finally putting an end to it here, and not a whole lot made out of that initial engagement, those initial engagements.
And if you're Mock and you hold on to that position in top green and catwalk, I mean, you could do so much damage just funneling everyone into your lines of sight. We've seen John up here successful many times. This map can be punishing. Mock will back on up. Jintroid working through the bottoms, able to find one, so trades back and forth short, 24 to 22. Numbers still funnel into the point. Built by Gamers have a chance now to work on to B. Will it come through, though? Ulysses can't win the gunfight. Nice little crouch from Kismet, and Pander cleans up a second. 38 seconds to go. They should be good to go on B as a couple of more resources funnel through, but the gunfights individually have been there for BBG. Hold on a moment. Hollow comes in, and he might get cleaned up. He will.
Progress impeded very shortly here. We see gunfight engagement still going back and forth as Yuli creeping through the vents is looking for a kill from behind. He finds an easy hipfire kill. He will be met with several around the corner that have his number. They're certainly waiting for it. One in the way back looking to get into the action. That's player number 6, Kismet, off the respawn. Yuli decides to back down and is hoping to surprise him again in vents here. With just 10 seconds left on the clock, they got to get a roll on here, Space.
Yeah, you got to go. You got 9 to go. 19 to 14. One team win. That's all you need for Trash Bros. Maybe you push numbers here to say, okay, we'll throw some resources down. If we lose it, we lose it, but at least it's an attempt. Here comes the connect and the contest. Apollo beats GodRx to the point. 2 more will be there, though. Built by Gamers still hold on. 16-13. Do they just put pressure on? This is a big decision right now, and you need to make it quickly. Ulysses still alive. Pander fighting for his life. Hollow not even going to challenge. Hollow should just come out and meet this gunfight. Here comes Ulysses. He's going to go up. He's going to get the kill. You need to play numbers if you're here. Built by Gamers doing their best to hold on.
Here it is, GodRx. It's all on you. You got some support over your shoulder, though. He waited patiently for Kismet, and he was so helpful in this engagement that they're able to take them down and close out the point on Zone B. Now, moving over to A, they still have people to deal with on lights. The fight is not up yet on this portion of the map, but the defense is already mounted on satellites, Mock and Hollow, keeping them at bay, buying his team more time, which is a very hot commodity for the side of Built by Gamers. They only have 40 seconds to work with to try and get through and complete Zone A.
Those are huge gunfights from Hollow. It locks down lights. You keep spawns in front and at bay. And more importantly, you put more in the dirt. 11 to 5. You just play trades. You win this easily, but Built by Gamers not going down without a fight. A couple of shots bring out to top green. Pander working on the long rotation off spawn. Here come the flood. Mock is there, ready and waiting. Nowhere to run. Jintroid will get cut down, but 9 to 4 in 18 seconds. Surely this is not possible. Pentagram with 2 kills. Now hold on a moment. Here comes the slide. Ulysses for 2. Ulysses is perfect. Pander there. Pander working to the back. GodRx last alive. Built by Gamers last ditch effort. You got to go, and you got to go now. GodRx cleaned up. That's it. Trash Bros take round 2.
Uh-oh, Ulysses is online, and look at the result. That's a 2-0 lead from Trash Bros. Always in the mix, constantly doing damage. This is the Ulysses that we are used to. So look at the movement from the submachine gun player. Bricks is on lockdown from him.
This is what gets dangerous, right? There was a decision there. Do you push more numbers in onto B, and do you continue to try to challenge and waste those last 9 seconds, or do you move over to A? And at that point, what do you do? Do you just try to play with the round with the life lead you have? That was the decision. It's a risky one, but it pays off, and nonetheless, they get it done. And that's the thing. Ulysses is online, like you said perfectly. 16 and 8 on a 3 spree. 10 and 11 for Hollow, but he got 2 huge kills in lights, which just closed down mid-map. These kills are coming at such opportune times, and where they're coming is so important. It's all by design. Ulysses on 4. Can he make it 5?
Access to all of his tacticals and lethals, needs and uses none of them as he hops onto the site. This is going to be a great spot to use that utility here as he waits for the support of his team to hop on Zone B.
Oh, he's roaming
on his Zone A, excuse me. Still bobbing and weaving, making his moves through bricks. He's got the support of Mock up top with the AR before he falls. We see GodRx comes through and punches out the last line of defense, or last line of offense for Trash Bros.
Pander at 8 and 13. I mean, he hasn't had many avenues to work with, but he's going to try to work on the floor. Mock getting the taste of his own medicine as Ulysses will pick up 1. So you got 2 down for Built by Gamers. Now playing a 2v3 on the point. Spawns out for Trash Bros. A long rotation for Jintroid, but he's going to make the decision to go to A. No, he'll cut it out. And all of a sudden, they just win. We'll hold on for the moment. I think we might be having a pause momentarily, as not sure what happened, but We will figure out. Yeah, I was gonna say there were plenty of lives still available, and no one was close to B or A. We'll figure out what's going on, and we'll make sure everyone's good to go. But I think the takeaway from that control was that there was never a moment where Trash Bros didn't look like they had a plan ready and waiting for whatever Build by Gamers were throwing at them. Fox, what were you seeing on the field?
I was seeing Yuli come through and stomp on the competition from start to finish. I mean, double positive, the dude was a threat. We're used to seeing his presence throughout the map with the submachine gun just like that. We didn't get that from him in map 1 and map 2. So this is a very scary Trash Bros heading into game 3. And as we're tied up in this series, I think that we certainly see them start to pull away more in this control here. It's an awesome start to them in the map. Or start for them in the map.
It was a 2-0 lead in that control in game 3 here, and I believe we had a tech issue, so we'll get everyone back in the lobby, and we should just start under the assumption that Trash Bros are up 2-0. One more round is needed. We'll make sure everyone's on the right sides, but again, welcome to the chaotic nature of esports. This is now a conversation we're going to have. Does this quick pause help or hurt Trash Bros? I have to think they were flowing. They were in the meta of the game. They were bobbing and weaving whatever Build by Gamers were throwing at them. This might be the worst possible thing to happen if they end up going into this game 3 up 2-0 and they lose it. Fox. I mean,
yeah. If you're Trash Bros, you keep that energy going. You keep talking, keep your head in the game, keep focused, hop into the closing moments of this control, and be as consistent as you were in those first 2 rounds. Because you were shutting down flanks, you were setting up beautiful plays. Yuli was all over the place and in their face, and that's exactly how you want him to be.
Absolutely right, and we make sure everyone's in the lobby good to go. But this has been a hell of a series in this grand final, super close all the way down to the wire. But we're starting to see Trash Bros pull away a little bit in the respawns, and again, kind of going into what we had in prediction wise going into this series. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I did say Trash Bros going to take game 1, they're going to lose the S&D and take games 3 and 4. So far it's looking like it. They're on the road to just stun BBG in these hard points, and you know, that at Miami, which again, I would like to assume was BBG's call, because we know Apocalypse, Hardpoint, and Miami are 2 of their stronger modes and maps. This is an interesting position to be in. You get a little bit of a breather. Things weren't really working out in the control. What do you say in those comms if you're BBG, as we're going to get back into the game started at 2-0 for Trash Bros? Fox, if you're BBG, if you're a coach, player, regardless in the comms, what do you say?
Keep your head in the game. Don't let Ulysses run all over you, right? Put him down. We need to keep track of players that are moving around the map this way. He continues to be disruptive, getting behind you and upsetting your spawns with those flanks, right? You cannot let that happen. If you lose track, he's going to shut this whole game down.
I love when you speak words. I get to listen. I love it. You're so smart. Built by Gamers, Trash Bros. Trash Bros currently up 2-0 in this control. If you're just joining us, welcome to the Grand Finals of North America. It's tied up 1-1 in the series, and Trash Bros need 1 round in this control, and they'll take game 2, or game 3, excuse me. Welcome back from a quick little pause. Flying on out, Ulysses, skipping no stones and missing no time. Already into the point, as Gintred will help out. Ulysses makes it 2, and a very quick, clean kill and break, as right now they're on A, and they're getting a lot of progress with it.
Into the mix right away. Yuli is up 2-0, and he is going to be the one closest to this defensive setup from the side of Built by Gamers, catching one off guard. It's a big double kill to open things up with him and Hollow. They should be able to capture Zone A right here with 2 Built by Gamers players way on the opposite side of the map, set up for the defense on B.
Ooh.
That'll be the last point they have to defend, as Trash Bros are starting to die off of the old point. Still, they maintain control of green. Pentagram snatches it right from their fingers. Great presence from him, and now you're going to want to see him stay alive and continue this fight in the spawn of the Trash Bros.
What the hell happened in that break? Everyone came back lights out. What is going on? Pentagram swinging, snapping on everything. Ulysses comes out with a 4 spree. Now it's a team fight all the way through caution. So far, Trash Bros winning it with 2 more dead. Got Rex 0-3, looking for his first kill here. And reset. Pentagram working through the back. Will spot Hollow and Ulysses, but so far, so good. Built by Gamers hold on, and they get the life lead back. It was looking bad. Now it's just a 1-kill deficit. What a way to respond in that last couple of kills.
Still a minute and a half to work with. Trash Bros were able to get one of the more difficult points off the rip. Typically, we see people go to B first. See Built by Gamers in a very comfortable defensive position for it, but 2, 3, Yuli and Hollow, they're able to get up onto the point, and they're able to find the kills they need. It's just going to be up to GodRx here. He's tagged up and outnumbered. What does he do with this positioning? Finished off. That's Jin Chord that does it. They're finally getting some time on this objective, the first time they've been able to set foot in it since this round started. And and they get the first tick progress through to its completion.
Yeah, these contests are huge. 15-15. This is looking good for BBG. These flying kills from Kismet. 3 and 5, you know where they're spawning. That's when you get the AR set up in a power position. But now the trades continue, and Trash Bros have 2 more dead. Hollow going to try to roam up to top green. If he's lucky, he might be able to find one. So far, wasn't looking that direction. Here comes Ulysses, 7 and 4, off to a very hot start in this game 3. But you got 47 seconds, and you have to make your way onto the point. You need to move, and you need to move now. How do they commit to this site, and how do they get into position to shut down BBG? Ulysses doing everything right.
Ulysses in a great position here on bridge, still waiting for people to connect with. Just underneath him, he catches Kismet as he runs away from getting the kill on Jintroid. 20 seconds left here. The movement, Yuli trying to remain unpredictable, but Pander's going to end up catching him. Jintroid once again off the spawn for the support. Mach still only 1 kill, and with just 15 seconds remaining in this round, you want to see them make some progress on this B site and close it out. The defense from Built by Gamers so strong, as we can see 3 kills straight. Pander, Pentagram, Mach, the only one to be able to respond for Trash Bros, and it might not be enough here.
They were hunting for kills. They started to panic a little bit, and Built by Gamers survive game 3. They get their first round on the board now. 2-1 in favor of Trash Bros. Still a long way to go, but you could see the panic start to set in. They were just flying for kills. They weren't trying to get control of the map. There was a question whether Hollow would try to go to top green and control Catwalk. They knew where Built by Gamers were spawning. They were back at lights and consistently flooding into the point. They were still trying to find the kills. Trash Bros need to slow this down mentally. Mock at 2 and 6. Not horrible, but with a hot start from Ulysses, you can't waste that much time. Built by Gamers, biding their moment, playing it slow, doing what needed to be done, trusting one another. So far, they're down 2-1, but they can bring it back.
2 ARs on the side of Built by Gamers, Pander and GodRx playing the long line of sight. One towards green, one looking through middle map. Met with no one as they move up. All the action is unfolding on the B zone. Pander, putting himself into position, is able to find a kill, but not without Trash Bros sweeping away the rest of his team. He plants his feet. He's going to maintain this point as he waits for support, but 2 players will be meeting him soon around Catwalk.
Why did Mach push all the way up to meet players rotating out of spawn? He could have sat in top green, had an AR there, and waited for a full push up to mid-map. Instead, he tries to get a little bit over-aggressive, pays for it. So far, it won't cost the team anything, but questionable decisions. It looks like Trash Bros are just trying to win individual battles rather than winning the team hold at mid-map. So they have to worry about numbers currently on the point. Built by Gamers with great kills from Pentagram and Pander will open up the first tick. Here comes a nade. We'll clean up one. Ulysses again coming up big. Hollow, never mind. Mach can't win the fight as Kismet walks away victorious and tagged up. Challenges in lights go the way of Jintroid. And here comes 40 seconds to go. Out in spawn. Mach nowhere to... Kismet with a perfect kill. You have to hold on if you're Trash Bros. They're playing good defense, but Built by Gamers are roaming and killing.
Kismet, the main roamer for the side of Built by Gamers. We constantly see his footwork benefiting the guys in purple time and time again. Tier 2 progress made here as Pander as well has been a threat with this Krieg. Watching lights, that's not a gunfight you want to turn the corner into. Trophy system support there for Yuli. Very well positioned to stop the Semtex, but Zone B goes to Built by Gamers.
They're taking these gunfights individually, so they never have enough numbers around to win a trade. We talked about the fact that Trash Bros were so good at trading during chaos on the point. They're consistently taking 1v2s and 1v3s or 2v2s and 2v3s that they're not winning. They don't have a full hold. They're getting picked apart. Kismet and Pentagram will take down 2 more. Hollow going to try to slide in. He'll stay alive. Mach going to challenge. He'll get cleaned up. Hollow able to take down 1. Pander with a challenge. Pander can't win. Hollow with a clutch 2-piece. Now for Trash Bros, you're down in lives. You have a minute 22. You need everyone to contribute if you want to shut down BBG and send this one home.
And I'm curious as to how the kill column is going to add up here to determine what we look like in terms of sides on offense and defense if this makes it to an overtime round. But still, there is a minute left on the clock for both teams to work with. 1 point left as all efforts are focused towards Zone 8. He's in the back and is taken down by Kismet. Still alive, Jintroid hunting for him and finds him just like that. But all the pressure still going down on the site. Pander with the Krieg, no one responding to him when the last guy on site is Mach, winning a crucial gun engagement to remain on defense here.
Yeah, he needs teammates, though. He needs help. He needs reinforcements. 6v12. This should be BBG. 5 versus 11. Here comes streaks from Pander. He should be able to at least get 1. Hollow stays alive. It misses. That's an uncharacteristic whiff from Pander. Hold on a moment. Progress still working over numbers here. 5 versus 11. If they pull this off, this is unreal. 5v9, nades up in top green control, not quite there. Panda are going to back on up. They're going to wait for a full four-man hit. You have numbers inside for Trash Bros. You play one trade, you're there, but they're getting picked apart now. Panda with a great kill. 8v4.
Trash Bros, no more lives remaining. Built by Gamers are looking to put their second round on the board. 20 seconds left on the clock as Panda is looking to set up for this flank. He's got Yuli in the back line. He's also got players to deal with on bricks that know he's there. Mock looking for him, finds him. Pentagram answers back. Still just 10 seconds left on the clock. They have to step onto the objective here. Expect all of it to unfold here in the closing moments, but with just so few lives remaining, it's going to be a tense one. Panda and Kismet facing off against Hollow and Yuli. Trash Bros, they're going to take it.
How did that just happen? How did they just clutch that up? I mean, the ability to isolate a couple of gunfights and stay alive. Ulysses gets called out in the back spawn, so he backs up. Then Godorex roams inside. He gets cleaned up, and they just isolated gunfight towards top green. Hollow baiting his life, forcing Built by Gamers to challenge one at a time because they only had 10 seconds to flood in. That was a situation that Trash Bros just should not win. And that game comes down to individual gunfights in a 5v11, now down to a 4v8, down to a 2v5. They walk away victorious in a situation that should not exist, and they just find a way to pull out from somewhere. That whole spree at the end is just a masterclass of a defensive hold. Here's the look back in the replays, but Fox, looking at the end of this game, break it down for me. What were you seeing?
So what we saw before our pause and before our replay was a whole lot of Yuli taking over the map for the side of Trash Bros. Excellent contribution from him that certainly kept his team in the game, double positive for a good portion of it. Of course, we see Hollow, excellent follow-up, Mock contributing as well. Then when we get into the second half of the game, we see Mock start to fall off. That first round, he only finds one kill. Yuli still remains consistent, finding a lot of the engagements that his team needed to stay in the mix. But Built by Gamers, they had some pretty good resurgences on their defense. They were able to keep up the pace, and in the end, we saw how it concluded. Trash Bros were able to come out on top.
Again, situations that shouldn't exist, they walk away from. The patience, I was screaming at them all game. You're just running into gunfights. In that last round, they slowed it down. They trusted Hollow. It opened up so well for BBG. They were bringing it back, and all of a sudden, a 5v11 is what gets them a 2-1 series lead. Let that be known. They won a 5 versus 11 against BBG, one of the better trading teams in North America. Should not happen. And I mean that not as a slight against BBG, but as a positive against Trash Bros. The fact that they pulled that off, and now we go to a Moscow Hardpoint where all the momentum has just been zapped from BBG. Like, all the momentum, you got a break, you got a round win, and you lose a 5 versus 11. Right now is the time to close it out if you're Trash Bros, Fox.
You got to be feeling deflated if you're BBG. Of course, coming back from the pause and then losing in the fashion that you did, you had everything going for you. You had the reset and you had everything going for you. And we see Trash Bros, they're able to pull the rug from underneath them and close it out in the end. Massive comeback there, as we saw on the A site. I'm really looking forward to see what the rest of the series looks like, because it feels like it could go either way. I thought that we would see BBG take the first 2 maps, but we're seeing it a bit more of a confusing result here.
Look, if you're going to send it to a game 5, you need a resounding win in this hard point. Now we go to Moscow. This is how we're going to close out the grand final. Regardless, it's single elim. There is no second chance. You win this, you're done. $20,000 richer. And guess what? Trash Bros are just 5 minutes away, 1 hard point away from becoming your next North American champions for season 4 of the Challengers Elite Series. They took game 1, 250 to 240. They could have won game 2, and this could have been a 3-0 sweep. But instead, Built by Gamers are resilient. They hold on, they're patient, and Trash Bros respond quickly in that control. 3-1 win. Now we go to Moscow. We go to a situation where once more, if Mock and Hollow and everyone is contributing, if Ulysses is contributing, this could be a very, very quick hard point. We saw what happened in game 1 when Mock and Ulysses were not helping, and it was close, and they still won. Fox, if I'm Built by Gamers, I need my ARs to win their battles, and I need Kismet and Pentagram to absolutely slay out of their minds if they want to go to a game 5.
Absolutely. And I mean, we need consistency out of Built by Gamers from start to finish. We need everyone contributing all the way to the end. We have moments that we see out of players like Pander where they're able to take really disadvantageous situations and turn them on its head. We also have pretty basic moments where you can rely on Pander to hold a crossfire, right? Especially when it comes to search and destroy. So getting into Hardpoint as we head to Russia on Moscow, when the AR players get on street, they're able to have a field day.
Well, oftentimes you'll see teams 4-stack on P4, and if Ulysses is able to work those angles, you could be looking at that as a money hill, right? But we look often at P2 and P3 for those chances. This is going to be a very, very interesting hard point, and more importantly, it's going to come down to the subs. It has to come down to the subs, and especially when moving through Main Street, your ARs have to be able to help out those aggressive pushers. Right. Your initials are going to be there, but regardless, we just wait to see. We wait to find out. Let us know in the YouTube chat what you guys are predicting. How is this series going for you? Are your stats working well? Is your prediction going well? If not, we would love to know who you think is going to take it next. We got a hell of a hard point coming up. This one could be for the entire title. All Trash Bros needs is this final hard point, this final map, and they will walk away with $20,000 in Kings of North America. For Built by Gamers, you win this, you go to Game 5. Odds might be in your favor. You're a very good S&D team. We know what they can do on Moscow S&D. Fox, I'm going to ask you right now, who you taking?
You got to think about the nerves going on the side of Built by Gamers right now. Looking to get that first victory. They've come so close so many times in the Call of Duty Challengers competition. But Space, I gotta say, Trash Bros in this series right now, they're bringing it to them. I think that we see Trash Bros close out this series. They're gonna take this hard point.
I gotta tell you, man, if they take the hard point, so far today, I'd be pretty much perfect on predictions, so that'd make me feel great. But if they're able to take this one 3-1, we're going to be looking at this series and honestly saying this is one of the more dominant wins because, again, aside from 2 performances in Game 1 and kind of a throw a little bit in the S&D, this could have been a 3-0. This grand final could have been done 5 minutes ago. But we continue on, we keep moving, we get to Moscow Hardpoint, we get to Game 4. This is for all the marbles. Trash Bros, this is your first time in the grand final. This is the first time for a lot of these players. Built by Gamers finally make it here. But this young roster, this unknown group outside of the names themselves, yes, have made it to #1 spot in North America for a reason. They're the best team in North America currently for the reason, and they're trying to lock it down with a title. Let's see if they can do it here.
Built by Gamers, $8,000 at the CDC Open number 2, $6,000 at the Elite Season 2 playoffs, $6,000 at the Open number 1. That adds up to $20,000. That's what we're playing for here in this tournament. $20,000 looking for that first place spot. We have Trash Bros at map point and series point. Will they take it away from Built by Gamers, or will Built by Gamers force us to a Game 5 tonight? Of course, taking a look at the players that drive the action for us, the observers, our producers, our production team, they're a crucial, huge part of it, and they're able to follow all the chaotic action that unfolds in Respawn game modes, just like this hard point. Kismet, 3 kills straight and taking the hill time for his team for a lead change.
And Trash Bros had the favorable side coming into this one, so you know that Built by Gamers picked this map mode combo, and it just means they're going to have to do that much more work if they really want to walk away to a Game 5. We have to be looking at the subs. We have to be looking at the ARs. Yeah, it's simple. Yeah, it's all the same, but it makes sense. Kismet off to a hot start, 7-1. And going into the pregame, we said that Kismet has to kick it up into a different gear, really light up the kill feed. So far, he's on a 6 spree, working on streaks. He wants to stay alive, and guess what? You got spawns there. You got a hold in the back, and you have early time at P2. Very, very good start for BBG.
Pander behind enemy lines, shut down as Yuli sniffed it out. The Bloodhound he is able to maintain this positioning from the side of Trash Bros as they're trying to break the setup from Built by Gamers. Kismet last alive in the background. He will be the last to fall as well as it's turned over into control of the guys in white. Trash Bros, trailing by 30 seconds, find themselves in control of the hard point. Only one enemy close, and that's Pander, who's not able to get anything done. Jintroid takes him out, and he's going to spawn up closer to his team. So we see the scrap time should very easily go to Trash Bros as we rotate to P3.
And this is where things can really get out of hand. You can often 4-stack this hill, and on P3, you can rack up a ton of time. For Trash Bros, you're going to be looking at the early break, the entry, and the hold for Jintroid. It's going to come through the front pressure with the sub, but the ARs have to work through the back. And speaking of which, Hollow, Korean hand able to find one, but you have to work through the back, and guess what? Mock there as well. They're going to flood inside. They're going to at least get 2 numbers here. And now you're going to get the subs in front to cut him down. Ulysses will do his job. But the push from Built by Gamers with Pander leading the way. Now it comes to one final break for Built by Gamers. Then you start thinking about rotation. Mock on your screen. Nades fly out. Can't win one. Built by Gamers pressing in, crunching down, and locking up everyone. But the response from Trash Bros so far is holding him in.
Kismet with 10 kills, the same number as the rest of his teammates combined, up until GodRx finds a kill on the objective here. Big defensive play for his team, but Mock, looking to be the equalizer, comes through with a double kill. Hill control flipped back in favor of Trash Bros as Yuli steps his foot in. Players 4 and 3, Kismet and Pander, are close to the action, but we should see one of them catch a player on the rotation as we move towards Street.
The trophy's out, so that nade actually helps. It at least keeps more members from flying onto the point, and you can isolate gunfights. Hollow does. Shooting at range is Jintroid. Okay. Trades back and forth in the hill, and close spawns for Trash Bros, so they can throw numbers at this point. Jintroid working the back. He can play spoiler. He has to spot at least one, but checks the wrong direction. And here comes BBG with numbers in front. Ulysses on your screen. So weak, but Pentagram will challenge, and Pentagram will win. Well done by BBG on the break, and well done for the time.
Built by Gamers, you still got 4 players pouring down the street right at you. Jintroid and Hollow opening up the engagements with 2 kills. Pentagram and GodRx in defensive positioning are able to find 2 as well. But once again, we see Trash Bros continuing the pressure and finding another set of kills, and they're coming out in a favorable situation here. Still down by about 20 seconds, but closing that gap, that deficit every second that passes.
Trash Bros doing a decent job at chaining kills together, especially in those last couple of hills, but now we go back to P1. This can usually be contested for quite some time, but it just comes down to taking Kismet out of this position. So far unsuccessful, and he will stay alive. More importantly, get the opening 10 seconds for BBG. Look at the spawns. They're already thinking about P2 for Trash Bros. This burns about 20 seconds off the clock, but if you're successful, it pays off in the long run. Dividends might work out, but you need kills to help. Ulysses working down on the floor is able to find one. One more in the back is Kismet. He snuffed out this rotation, and more importantly, he understood the next hill is more important than what's happening now. Ulysses able to get one, but GodRx will shut it down. Kismet once more with a huge play to keep BBG not only in this game, but set them up nicely for P2.
Yeah, Kismet falls just off of his next 5 streak. We see the defensive positioning from Trash Bros has been impeccable for this hardpoint so far. Jintroid is going to be at the head of it all. 4 in a row for him now, answering back to Kismet's contribution. So as we see Trash Bros closing that gap, Jintroid is able to stay alive and live to see another day as he's progressing to P2. 2 in the back, though. It's Pander and GodRx that need to be dealt with. Let's see how Trash Bros dissects this play.
Trust Jintroid to roam. Trust him just to move through the back. Try to clear out these spawns. It's always going to be here for BBG as long as one stays alive, and they will. Pentagram cuts down Jintroid. Ulysses will be last up to bat. Everyone else drops. Built by Gamers just invest in the long flank. They invest in the rotation early. They give up some time on P1, but it pays off on P2. Right now, they're sitting pretty, and they got a decent lead, but you have to worry about the rotation once more. 33 seconds still to go. Here comes the push from Trash Bros. Jintroid and Mock working together. They can't get anything. Pander just shutting down everyone. Kismet on the tree line has help from GodRx. That's all 4 dead. You gotta give it up if you're Trash Bros. 20 seconds. Yeah, it sucks, but next hill matters even more. You have to get spawns, and you have to lock this down.
Yes, and that's a very nice chunk of time for Built by Gamers to rack up here on this P2 hill. As we move towards P3, though, like you said, we have Pentagram in the corner that's looking to disrupt their spawns, looking to disrupt this setup here, and he's quickly snuffed out. So Hollow's headshot right there could be huge for Trash Bros and their defensive front on this next hill.
But GodRx can just play spoiler. He's going to get Mock. If he finds Hollow, this is all done. Built by Gamers could put on an 80-point lead. Hollow coming out for the cheeky challenge. Shots ring out. The distraction is there, and now GodRx will move in for the kill. Jintroid spots a couple and sniffs out the rotation, but don't matter much. GodRx able to pick up one. Pentagram comes in for the cleanup. He gets everything, and oh god, Built by Gamers break in. They get the time. They get 30 seconds, and look at the spawns out for Trash Bros. This is so bad. You've done so much to rotate early, but you can't hold. You're getting picked apart. Built by Gamers are clinical right now, and Pander is just lighting up the kill feed. GodRx there as well. The team trades are here. Kismet, everyone getting involved. It is all Built by Gamers. They're running away with this game.
Wow, I think the Trash Bros seems to be running out of steam a bit here. They seem to be really staggered for the last Hardpoint, pushing in on these one-on-one engagements when they're actually outnumbered and still waiting for their teammates to come up off spawn. And look at the streaks from the side of Built by Gamer. 4 in a row for GodRx and Kismet, 3 for Panda, 2 for Pentagram. These guys have been untouched in the last 2 minutes of Hardpoint gameplay, in the last minute of Hardpoint gameplay. That lead, 80 seconds, is a real powerful lead at this stage of the game.
Your hardpoint leader and Mock is out of the equation. Ulysses at 13 and 15. Your best hill time from Jintroid is 52 seconds. That's not good enough. That's not going to cut it. And here come the streaks. This is getting out of hand quickly. They have not been able to rally streaks together, kills together, chains together, hills together. It has not been there. 190 and counting to 111. Even on these isolated gunfights outside, you play a 2v4 on the hill, and Built by Gamers are winning it. 23 and 15 for Kismet, 20 and 15 for Pander. It's 200 to 111. This scoreline makes it seem closer than it actually is. These last couple of rotations, the last couple of hills, off of the investment from the initial P2, has been all of BBG. It has not been close. You need a complete 180 in your playstyle, and you need everyone to kick it into the 9th dimension if you're Trash Bros, if you want to close out the grand final here.
Yeah, for Trash Bros, at least the hard part's out of the way, right? You let them get all their huge streaks out of the way, let them get their big lead. It's about to get a hell of a lot more difficult now, though, because Built by Gamers, they're ready to close this one out. Less than a minute away from victory. Trash Bros, they want to pull themselves in closer to this game. They want to close that gap. But Built by Gamers are not making it easy. Hollow and Jintroid on defense. They're they have the high ground there, as Jintroid is still able to find a kill. Defensive positioning is not getting them a lot of hill time in what is usually a very scrappy hill.
And this is where Kismet can work through the back, but no one else is watching. Hollow a little bit late to the read, and now you have to contest every hill because Built by Gamers can win it on any hill. You can't afford to give them 20 seconds inside. Set up first will be Trash Bros. This is the first time they've had a solid early hold on P2. How long does it last? You get a full 60 here, completely different story. We're back in the game, but you got to hold off that first couple of pushes and team pushes from Built by Gamers. Jintroid trying to stay alive, completely 2 tagged up for a fight, 21 and 19, doing all he can. Mock at 14 and 21. Ulysses at 16 and 18, currently staying alive on the outside of the hill, but numbers quickly fall around for BBG. 2 more will hit in the front. Tree line there. Ulysses completely tagged up and out of position. Where does he go? You need help from Mox at Main Street, but Ulysses has nowhere to run. He's just peppering in shots, but it's all time for BBG. They're getting challenged, but not killed. They're still putting numbers inside, and somehow they stay alive for the long enough. 28 seconds, Fox. You need a full 20 here, and you need the rotation. BBG are more than happy to give up this last scrap time.
So Trash Bros gets the scrap time, like you said. What's so important is this rotation to P3. Take a look at where GodRx is sitting at. He sits in this spot every time for this rotation because he wants to watch out for the flank. He trusts the remaining of his teammates to be the front line and hold down the objective, but that wall seems to be crumbling. Last one alive in it is Kismet, and Yuli's able to take him down. So with GodRx still alive in the back here, are Trash Bros going to be able to deal with him? Only 12 seconds separate Built by Gamers from taking out this map. They can't make mistakes.
You got to know he's back here. That has to be the call because you know he's locking down spawns. Like you said, he's been back here every time. So you need to make the call to at least isolate one for the gunfight, try to find him. And now you have a chance. Now you have a legit chance in this game to bring it back. Everyone's starting to pick up a couple of kills. Mocking out 21 and 22. Things are changing. Tides are turning, and the winds have shifted back into your sails. You got a full 60 here you could fight over. And guess what? It's now 238 to 200. Things are different. Built by Gamers had numbers back here. It was GodRx set up ready and waiting for spawns, but the break is in, and you need your subs in front, but you can also lose it. You can't afford to give up this much time. You have to come in for the challenge from Mock. Is anyone else there? No, he just falls off the play. He doesn't go for the challenge. You're giving up all this time. BBG can just take it away here. There was no one there to challenge, and that is a mistake you cannot make. They go to game 5. BBG sent it the distance, and there was a chance for Mock to isolate this game and send it to another hill, and instead, he makes a mistake and leaves off on the hill. We go to game 5.
Real crushing moment right there. I don't even think the rest of the team expected to see Mock fall right there. I think they expected him to see him play his life, buy them a little bit more time after taking that player off of the hard point, right? The Diamante kill was necessary. We saw it coming. He needed to take that. But everything just kind of crumbled after that engagement.
Now, the question, people will be saying, oh, well, he should have ran back inside and waited for teammates to push up. Problem was, the player was sitting inside the hard point. He was gaining time, so Mock wasn't contesting. You had given up about 5 seconds. It was 2:42 at that point. Mock needs to challenge. He needs to challenge that even if he loses it, because if you back up and wait for teammates, the game's done. There's no guarantee they're going to get those kills. Here's the replay of the game. So close for BBG all the way to the end, and so close for Trash Bros. They were making the comeback back into the game, but Mock made a mistake. There was no reason not to challenge the gunfight, and now we go to a game 5, but with a hard point that was so close. Again, Fox, the same sentiment as we had in game 1. What would have happened had Mock, Ulysses, and Hollow all been on fire like they were in the controls, in the early starts of the hard points earlier today before this grand final? If they showed up, another map that probably goes their way. And again, we go to a game 5 S&D, which things are not looking good for Trash Bros.
Absolutely not. And we mentioned the play right there with Mock. I mean, he kind of ended up playing his life, but as I said, I don't think anyone expected him to die. He should have. That's the moment to make a play. That's the moment to make something happen, to be decisive, to think on your feet. Unfortunately, it ended up playing into the hands of BBG as we find ourselves in a game 5. And this has been a real exciting series. This is going the distance. These players are going to have to show some real resilience and come out on top in the end here.
BBG are smiling from ear to ear right now. They are grinning because they know that not only are they one map away from kind of upsetting and stunning Trash Bros in this map, but they're one away from winning $20,000. Here's the prize, $10,000 for second place. It's a big drop off. Trash Bros had multiple chances to close this series, and now they might lose $10,000 because of it. Third place gets $6,000, fourth gets $5,000, all the way down. Top 8 get a payout, but $20K for first place. And for Built By Gamers, I mean, they're fighting all of their demons right now. The decision making, the team trades, the ability to you know, for lack of an argument, shoot back, right? They're fighting all of the things that have hindered this team to making this run in previous seasons. Now they're beating their demons on the map, and they're one map away in a game 5 from taking home the prize. Fox, both these teams just need 6 rounds. Talk to me about this series layout, what you've seen, what you think is going to happen in game 5, and what both of these teams have put up on the board.
We have seen a series of so many lead changes, so many massive momentum shifts, huge streaks, especially from players that are active on the map. We've seen Kismet working his way through the map. We've seen Yuli constantly beating his feet, moving throughout the map and finding so many kills for his team. Not so much in the early stages of this game, right? What we saw in the Hardpoint and Search and Destroy is not what we're used to of Yuli, but he came to life in that control. And that's why we see Trash Bros with 3-1 victory there. Getting into game number 4, you watched it all unfold. Trash Bros started to make the comeback. A couple of errors and one big one towards the end, and Built By Gamers is going to end up taking it. Back to Moscow we go for game 5. This Search and Destroy, the last one ended in around 11. It's a tough call to make, but I'm going to go with Trash Bros here. I do think that we see them pick it back up. I think that that was a really deflating moment that we saw them experience in game 4, but I don't think it's enough to take them out of this series. I think we see them deny BBG their first championship tonight.
There are multiple moments in this entire series where I look at specific plays and I say, you win that, you win the series. This could have been a 3-0. For Trash Bros. And even in the hard point, yes, there was no guarantee that if Mock makes that play and wins the gunfight and they get the time, that they even win that map. But there are multiple instances where I can look back in the last 4 games and say, right there, that could have been different. This could have changed. This could have changed. Now we go to game 5, and I know I picked Trash Bros to win it 3-1, but after what we've just seen, again, under pressure, they crumbled a little, and it took a heroic effort to get back into that hard point. We go into an S&D on Moscow. I think Built By Gamers got it. I mean, we know this map specifically. This map in mode punishes teams when they get a little bit desperate, a little bit confused, and they stack up on a site. We know how difficult this map can be and how it's cursed. I don't see Built By Gamers I don't see them letting this map get to them, and I think that at this point, they have done everything they've needed to and overcome all these different obstacles to get the job done. For Trash Bros, please don't stack on a site. Please don't line up on a site. Please don't do it. I don't want to see another Optic Minnesota. Please. Fox, we got a game 5. I want a round 11. Who you want round 11? 1v1. Who you got? Who you taking?
Getting into this game 5, I feel like we got to throw precedent out the window, just the way that this series has been unfolding. Both of these teams really showing up in different ways, showing out and showing off in different ways, but also falling flat in some that have been crucial that have been detrimental to the success in this series. Again, I'm seeing Trash Bros take this one, but Built By Gamers will put up a huge fight, I'm sure.
Well, this is a $20,000 game 5. 1 game of S&D. You got a nice fat wallet to thank for it.
Yeah.
Mock will try to back up.
You ever played Call of Duty for $20,000 before, Space?
I have played Call of Duty for about $2 in a clan tryout, so yeah, about the same thing.
Whole lot less than this.
Yeah,
Big deal here. Mocking a 1v1. It's going to be GodRx upstairs. Playing that clock, wasting his time and running away. You see him tuck tail and run with 20 seconds left on the clock. That's the right call. He finds the flank and finishes the job as Built by Gamers put the first round on the board.
It was almost promising for the 1v2. And we have seen Moscow before, just a series ago. When we did, you know, we talked about kind of the chaotic nature of this map mode. How Trash Bros played it. They put a lot of pressure over to Bricks. They put a lot of emphasis on just hitting as a team and creating chaos on the site itself. Now it comes down to, can you slow the game down and can you read what Built by Gamers do? Because Kismet will be a problem. Speaking of which, I mean, he is pushing right up past the 50-yard line. He is flying into the spawn. Will Trash Bros read this?
Stuns popping off right next to him, not tagging up a whole lot. The first blood does come in favor of Trash Bros here. And we see a bit of a response, and it's still not enough as Kismet was set up for the flank. He was supposed to be the explosive one here and ends up being late to the party, put down last, and Trash Bros is going to find their first round win to tie us up at 1-1 here. I think the flank from Kismet was not well timed, but I don't think it was his fault. It was the right call. It just took too long to develop because of how quickly the offense moved this round.
I mean, it was a perfect play from Kismet, but you're absolutely right. I mean, what do, right? Do you play to Bricks and give away your position, or you try to move in, find the guy planting, and get one kill, then you're dead? Right idea. Hard to execute. Can't blame him for trying. That's all you ask. GodRx 3-1. Kismet 0-2. Tied up 1-1. And we know how this game will be. We know how these S&Ds go. It was about 1-1, then 2-1, and then a 4-2 lead in game 2. And then it was all the way brought back by Built by Gamers. I expect nothing less.
Definitely a series of comebacks, or almost comebacks. Just really long surges of brilliance from both teams here. Pentagram in position atop Eskies, alongside his bomb carrier there. Just around the corner are 3 white arrows surrounding Bricks. And that's going to be the most difficult part of taking this A-bomb side. Of course, B is wide open. They do have Mock watching for anyone rotating through mid, so he will be able to make that call if they decide to rotate. And I gotta say, it doesn't look too great for them right now, their chances at A.
Well, it just really depends on what happens with Mock, because Mock was actually in a good position, but the longer it takes, the more you're worried about the rotation from Pander. So that key gunfight is big, sure. You win an island, you win the round. 4v3. Trash Bros just holding on, and I like the fact that the subs weren't getting too aggressive on the site. Something that I've been critical of. As they hold their position, they let everyone else do their job, and the ARs look for information. Bomb down. Pander is going to have a huge couple of engagements. Here comes Ulysses. Weapon for Pander. Gunfight for Pander, but he loses it. The AK comes out victorious, and they're going to stick it. 4v1. Here comes GodRx. He has to get inside. He has to check. He's going to get to the window. Oh, he got it. 13 seconds. Check it one more time. No, no way. 2v4. No. 1v4 possible. He's not going to get it. They're going to stick it anyway. Oh,
GodRx almost just did something real dirty.
Martha. Oh, God. I can't do this. I can't do this.
Big wall bang right there. Of course, planting the bomb in such a stellar position to make plays like this possible. We see GodRx, the last line of defense for his team, ends up crumbling, but it was a valiant effort for sure.
I can't do this, Fox. I can't do that ever again. Please, if it comes down to a round 11 like that, I can't do this.
Yuli,
5-2.
5 kills tied up with GodRx here, Space.
And he's on a 5 streak, so he's getting close to working towards those streaks as well. And that would just give you so much that opens up the map. Info, pings, ways you can zone out BBG. The patience from the subs for Trash Bros has been the highlight for me so far in this S&D, but a 2-1 lead now. As stuns fly out, who will drop first?
Trophy support has to feel good. Through middle map, they end up catching Kismet. As he was supposed to be the one to stop the rotation, he is at least able to communicate that to the remaining 3 Built by Gamers players who are all coming back from A. But really, the ball is in the hand of Gentroid here. He's able to decide which side he wants to commit to. They end up choosing A, They will be met with some opposition here shortly, though, because I'm sure that Built by Gamers have read the play by this point. They got Pentagram, who's already pushed through B. He's going to be met with player number 5, Yuli, on middle map, who ends up winning that engagement. Got RX and Pander. Left in a 2 versus 4 retake. It's going to be a tough one, and Bricks is in control of the guys in white. Trash Bros should have this one locked down.
Oh, Hollow is just pogoing the entire time. I mean, he, inadvertently buys time for his teammates and Ulysses with a massive win at P1. But the fact that Hollow was just staying alive at Bricks and just jumping up and down, it created a distraction. There was really not much Built by Gamers could do. The opposite end gunfights on the outside of the site were lost. Hollow's just jumping up and down and kind of wins them the round. Well done, Ulysses, 6-1. What a time to turn on the afterburners, to step up into a different level and really put the pedal to the metal. 6 kills in a row, 1 off streaks. If you're Trash Bros, you play through him. You feed him information, keep him alive. Nades are out, Mock will get the assist, but here comes a couple more. Trophy will be down. You need to keep Ulysses alive.
So close to these score streaks. He's the most important player in the lobby, and they need to have some support with him on street, but Yuli falls just before he can get score streaks. That's a big stop out of the side of Built by Gamers for them to keep themselves alive in this game. Kismet at 0-5. It would have been a really tough disadvantage to have to claw your way through. Now back to the 3 versus 3 situation. We do have the bomb down just outside of mid. Pentagram's going to find a kill, and Pander will pick up the objective as we reroute and move our way towards the B site. Nobody is home for the side of Trash Bros. One on the flank is Hollow. The other one, player number 7, is Mock on the A site. Even with Hollow finding this kill, the bomb should be able to go down on B.
They're isolating so well. Mock is just holding his line. Not trying to set up in a defensive hold. He's holding his position, and Hollow's on the roam. This is entirely doable. 2v2. Bomb will go down, of course. Now, how do you retake? How do you group together? Do you get caught on rotation? Mock might be the first victim. Pander. COD timing. You are the worst.
Yeah, he didn't see the rotation there. I think they're banking on the fact that they really don't know where the enemy team is at right here. So that's why you see Pander give up that line of sight altogether. Check the bomb, now looking towards street. He's just waiting to see which lane they'll come from. Communicating street to Pentagram. They're going to set up a crossfire on the site here. Ends up getting flanked. They both lose their one-on-one engagements, and Trash Bros come in to defuse the bomb and take their 4th round win.
These patient pinches from Trash Bros, and now the confidence in these gunfights. These isolated engagements that were not working in Game 2, were barely working in the control, never worked in the hardpoint. And now, all of a sudden, they are hitting their shots, they're winning the fights, and the map becomes that much easier, and you can get retakes that much easier. When you're winning individual fights, it sounds so stupid, but for a team that's been struggling in this grand final with that very concept, they're up 4-1 because of the confidence in their shot and the fact that they're now winning individual gunfights as easily as they are. Kismet at 0-5, currently dropping a donut in Game 5 of a $20,000 S&D. Ulysses at 6-2, having the best game of the series so far for him. Nades fly out. Brick control for BBG. If you're Hollow, you back up. You do not have the weapon to work with. I don't care how good your shot is. And you take that bomb back to B, and that's where it will go.
Made a whole lot of noise, but players 1 and 4, Pentagram and Pander, still decide to drop off and move towards B bomb site, thanks to the communication from Kismet on street. Unfortunately, that's all he's going to contribute this round as he dies once again. First blood in favor of Trash Bros. The bomb does go down as well. It's going to be up to Built by Gamers to make this 3 versus 2 retake.
It's possible, but oh no, Mock wins it again. Mock escapes. Pentagram on the hunt. GodRx takes down Jin Troy. Mock wins 1v1. 20 seconds to go. Unbelievable. 7-2 for Mock. Does he guess correctly? No, he does not. He'll get the defuse. Built by Gamers. Sigh of relief. You get a moment to breathe. You'll get the defuse. Mock almost gets the 1v3. Winning gunfights that they have no business taking. 4-2. 1 round at a time. Built by Gamers still in it.
Didn't look both ways before he crossed the street and got RX. Catching him on an off angle, was able to stop him.
Jeez.
You kind of mentioned the setting for this retake, right? It was a 3 versus 2 situation with the bomb down. Trash Bros, of course, working with that man disadvantage, but having the advantage of completing the objective. Built by Gamers were still able to work through, bring it down to a 1v1, and close it out in the end, thanks to GodRx. Now, coming into this next round, they have another attempt at offense. Kismet, another attempt to get some points on the board. He's really been struggling in this map so far.
About to meet the James Bond of his life. Again, drops. There it is. 2 more fall. Ulysses double kill. Will he slide out? Won't get the third. Doesn't matter. 5-2. Trash Bros, this is the biggest round of your careers. You are one more away from winning $20,000 and being the #1 team and champions of North America. Ulysses with a massive double kill. And Kismet, James Bond in his way through this game 5.
And this is the moment where your heart is racing. The stage is set here, 1 round away from your victory, and a massive jump in your paycheck for this week. Trash Bros are well on their way to deny Built by Gamers their first championship win, a team that has constantly seen themselves in the top 3, in the top 2. They might be taken down by Trash Bros, a new team put together for this tournament.
Ulysses at 9-4. He's been so good. Oh, he won't get first blood though. Pentagram saves Built by Gamers, but Kismet finally gets on the board. 4v2. This should be a round that Built by Gamers close out.
Kismet big flank stopped just after he finds that kill. It's going to be a 2 versus 3 situation. Bricks is under the control of Built by Gamers, and you see Hollow failing to poke at it. Mock dying as well. Can't win 2 engagements at once. Built by Gamers, they're going to close that one out and get their 3rd round win. Trash Bros still at map point.
If Hollow holds this position, yes, he's weak. It might be more possible. Kismet went for the peak, and with how weak Hollow was, 99% chance he's not winning that gunfight. But of all the times for Kismet to get one, now is it. GodRx at 10-5, Pander at 2-8. Your 2 of your biggest stars in S&D have been quiet. A combined 3-16 in game 5.
Not just quiet, they have been silenced. The side of Trash Bros, players like Yuli and Hollow, always there, in your face. High impact players in this game mode, bringing them all the way to game point in map 5. Now we see the bomb go down. Kismet leading the charge at the objective here. Some support outside on the street. Some machine gun players of Trash Bros close by. That's Yuli who peeks in for the first kill. No trade. No one there to support or follow up Kismet as the objective player. Pentagram's going to take down Jintroid. Yuli still alive from his last fight. And GodRx just outside trying to make a difference too. Mock ends up getting gunned, and Yuli is still moving freely throughout the bomb site. He wins a huge gun engagement. Absolutely unreasonable victory right there. 1 versus 2. It's all on Pander with 12 seconds left. He's caught off guard. That's a bomb defuse. Trash Bros take it.
That is an unreal play from Ulysses. 13-4 to close it out and crown your North American champions. Trash Bros take it 6-3. Unreal game 5 nerves and poise, confidence, patience, composure. The burn onto Pentagram. All 4 members of Trash Bros getting involved in the field. They take it in game 5. They get $20,000 in the bank, and they win it in game 5. They're your North American champions, but for Built by Gamers, the worst possible time to have a 3-16, 17 performance from 2 of your best S&D players, Kismet and Pander. If they're in this game, this is very different, but it was a 2v4 the entire time. I mean, that was perfection from Trash Bros, Fox.
Absolutely incredible. Yuli, his movement in this series, unmatched, unrivaled, absolutely integral and central to the success of Trash Bros to find themselves their first championship in the Call of Duty Challenger Series. Jintroid, a player in this region that's come such a long way at this level of competition, and it's just really exciting to see them granted this victory, earning this victory. It's been a hard-fought battle, lots of comebacks, and in this series especially, deficits to work through, and they came out on top in the end in a big way.
And this is the team that might be here to stay for a while. I know we're kind of winding down the Elite Series season, and Challengers is coming to an end. But this needs to be a roster that we keep our eye on. This needs to be a roster that people take seriously because they're number one for a reason. And let's look at how they played in the playoff bracket. Like, how did they get here to the grand final? Well, they took down System, a very good team, 3-0, sweep their way through. Built by Gamers, 3-0, sweep their way through Nemo. And we go all the way to game 5, a lot like what we saw in Europe. Talent mimics itself, and Trash Bros take it 6-2 in game 5. And it was all a individual effort up until the final match and a team effort to close out for the championship. They get $20,000 in their pocket. They are your North American champions for Season 4. And more importantly, they are a very, very good, well-oiled roster that now is in the conversation for one of the best teams in North America. Because outside of UT Crew, BBG, and Easter with their horrible performance this season, which probably won't last, this now needs to be a team that we put in the conversation of who are the best 4 teams in North America. Trash Bros just entered the ring. They're absolutely worthy of the title. They are so damn good at Call of Duty, Fox.
Seeing Trash Bros plays like this makes me really curious as to what the scene's going to look like coming into the next season, especially as we see roster changes happening at the professional level. Players that were formerly in the Challenger Series, Venom and Draza, we could see them come back into the mix. I mean, the competition is just shaping up so well. I love seeing new challengers come to the plate and perform just the way that Trash Bros did tonight. Ulysses, incredible performance. We mentioned him as a prospect for MVP. I think it's well earned.
I beg everyone from Trash Bros, please, I'm literally begging you. Do not make a roster change. Do not do what North America does all the time. Please learn from your EU brethren. Do not make a roster change. But that is the conclusion of Season 4 of the Call of Duty Challengers Elite Series for the Challengers Cup. That is all that she wrote. Your North American champions will be Trash Bros. It was a hell of a way to get here. It was a 3-0 win against a very, very formidable team in System. But after that, it was all smooth sailing. We got to game 5. It was back and forth by Built by Gamers, but all is said and done. $20,000 richer. And at the end of the day, Trash Bros are worthy of the title. Welcome to the top, brothers. I hope you enjoy it, and we hope to see you next season.